initiative, nice and sharp, quick free kick. Not a bad effort from Gusto, overhit a little bit, but he likes getting forward, this lad, and he'll put a good ball in.
Yeah, he certainly does, and one of the things that was mentioned about Chelsea's performance in midweek was the intensity, tempo and aggression they showed in the game. Playing slowly is something that has they've been criticised for over the course of the season so far, but they've been playing quickly here, and it's quickly on into the penalty area, and Gallagher, who's broken into the box, right side, gets it back to Gusto. Wasn't a great ball to set it back to him, but there's space on the edge of the box from Moises Caicedo. He takes over, gives it to Enzo Fernandez, whose cross is blocked by Lerma and repelled to halfway. And it wasn't a really very good delivery by Enzo Fernandez to get it into the box in the first place.
It's a bit worrying, Sam, how França switched off on the give and go. Gusto and Madueke, it was a very simple give and go, and he ended up switching off and he was in. Got to get his defensive edge. When you play wide against good quality fullbacks who like to bomb, you've got to do your job defensively first and foremost, otherwise you end up a liability.
Suggested the ball went out of play there. Chelsea were pretty convinced that it didn't, and it wasn't until maybe a few seconds after they'd picked the ball up again that Dan Cook decided to suggest that it had. They've given a free kick on this near side now for offside, I think. Maybe Malo Gusto coming back from an offside position was the actual offence that occurred, and it's going to be a free kick taken by Chris Richards. Upfield it goes towards the edge of the box. It's away by the defender. Comes to Ayew, returns and spins and shoots.
Good. Long ball. Knockdown. Winners. Shot. Basics. Good. Intelligent. Use what you've got available. Big guy up top. Win the header. Get the knockdowns. Okay, it was a snatch shot. A bit ambitious, but exactly the type of thing Palace should be doing.
Well, the Palace fans with their banners away to our right-hand side are unfurling banner after banner. The one at the moment is upstairs. The fans are the club, and they've lit 3 bright red flares to highlight that away to our right-hand side. It's quite certain here that the Palace fans aren't happy, but I'll tell you what, they've made a hell of a noise away to our right-hand side. Chelsea have the ball deep inside their own half. It's 0-0. Now it's worked out to Chilwell, who quickly tries to release the ball over the top. And chasing it was Jackson. He hesitated, but so did Henderson. And then he eventually picks it up on the left edge of the box and bowls it out towards the far side. It was a little bit too easy to get that ball over the top to Jackson, who probably should have done better.
It was a good effort, actually, from Chilwell.
Ben Chilwell, who's back in the team once again tonight. He said after the Wolves game that Wolves wanted it more than us, but said the whole club needed what they produced on Wednesday night. It's his 7th match back after a hamstring injury that robbed him of half of the season.
I always find it strange when a player actually verbally says that, even if he believes it. They wanted it more. Because what you're actually saying is you were one of those people guilty of not wanting it as much. Bizarre.
Ball is out of play over on the far side, and it's a free kick to Chelsea. It will be Thiago Silva forward into Enzo Fernandez, and then back to the Brazilian, who guides it to his goalkeeper George Petrovic. Petrovic, 7 minutes into the game, goes through the 6-yard area, travels towards the right edge of the box, gives it to Disasi, who clips it down the right channel now for Jackson to chase. Across comes tonight's captain Joachim Andersen. He turns the ball away brilliantly, but it's picked up by Caicedo. A little flick by Gusto gets Chelsea back on the ball. They've had 88% possession in the game so far, Chelsea. They only played just over 7 and a bit minutes. Ball clipped wide out towards the right, taken down by Gusto, back to halfway.
Problem is with that level of possession, Sam, is you're waiting to lose. You're waiting to get beaten. It's just too high, the numbers. You've got to get higher on the pitch and have a go early in the game when you've got your energy. This is fine later in the game. If you've managed to sneak the lead or you're still in it, hold on, fine. But not this early. It's too negative.
Thiago Silva launches the ball out towards the far side. It's with Chilwell back to Gallagher, Gallagher back to his central defender Thiago Silva, and then Moises Caicedo under pressure plays a good ball into the feet of Gallagher, and Chelsea get out of the press, the small amount of pressure that Arteta was able to put on his own. Gallagher switches the play from the right side out to the left. It's helped on by Chilwell. Didn't get it right. He was trying to feed Cole Palmer. Goes out of play, and it's out for a throw-in on the opposite side of the pitch to us. Yeah, isn't great in terms of signalling your intent to a fan base that is already disgruntled, not getting in amongst it early doors. But Chelsea haven't really gone anywhere with their possession up until this point.
No, but it's about setting the tone with the fans and showing them you mean business. I'm not suggesting you go ridiculous and then get played through 1-0 down.
Send the ball over the top on the right-hand
Good
side.
ball.
Petrovic has gone chasing out into the left full-back position with Mateta in close company. He's put it out and away for a throw-in.
See, that's a clever ball. You're playing it in behind the Chelsea back line. You've got willing runner. You've got to clear the lines. You're up the pitch. Long throw-in, cross coming in maybe, but better.
Tossed in short towards Will Hughes. Two first Premier League starters today in the Crystal Palace ranks in Adam Wharton, who's only 20 years of age, only just turned 20 years of age. He's given the ball away over on the far side, but it's been one man by Palace and sent into the area. Gusto stopped it superbly, then turned and fired it clear.
Francis got to be in there. What is he doing watching Gusto bring the ball down his own box? You could see the cross was coming in. He's got to bust a gut to get in on the back post and try and score a goal.
He's got it now, Francis, just left with the centre circle, running into green grass and poking it out wide towards the right. Left by Ayew, collected by Munoz. Back out to Ayew, who's crossed into the air. It's too high, goes over the head of everybody, and Madueke will be able to pick it up. And now Munoz is sprinting back into position. He's very fast, and he does that quickly as Madueke drags Chelsea up the pitch. Down the right side he goes. Then he angles his run into the centre of the pitch and plays it into the path of Enzo Fernandez, who just crashes the centre circle. Up into Palmer, back wide to the left. Good tempo to this game so far. We've played just over 10 minutes. It's 0-0 between Crystal Palace and Chelsea. Fernandez high into the air, taken down by Gusto. First time ball is put back to Madueke. God knows what he was trying to do with it. He backheeled it to no one in particular, and Jefferson Lerma is the grateful recipient, and Palace will. Here is Ayew tussling with Chilwell for the ball, backing into Chilwell, 7 yards inside his own half.
Well, Chilwell knows better than that. If one player in the league you don't try and get in front of, it's Ayew. He's one of the strongest players in the Premier League. Brilliant at holding the ball up. Just let him have it. He's going nowhere. You don't need to foul him.
TalkSport on a Monday night with Danny Murphy and Sam Matterface, Adrian Durham. Game night. We love game night on TalkSport. We've had quite a few in January and February of 2024. It's been a good start to the season. Good start to the new year for us. Now on the road, and we've got more upcoming over the next few weeks as well to bring you. Foul on the far side. And it was a little kick out by Enzo Fernandez on Will Hughes as all of a sudden Crystal Palace get a little bit more of the ball and try and drag themselves into a game which for the first 10 minutes or so they were a little bit submissive in.
Well, this is key. Delivery on set plays is everything. When you've got good targets in there, which they have, Anderson, Richards, Mateta, responsibility's falling on Will Hughes. It's a big responsibility because they're not going to get loads of chances in this game. Good quality balling, give them something to go and attack. In swinger from the right this time from him.
It's Hughes to take it, far side. He's 8 yards in from the left touch line and he swings the ball in, left-footed, deep towards the far post. Anderson is up there, but he's beaten to it by Richards, who glances his head well wide, and it goes out for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. 0-0.
It's too safe, son.
The delivery was
loopy and soft. You've got to really commit to it, get some pace on it, so the header is easier for those boys in there. It was too safe. It was a timid free kick. It's better than that.
A bit more pressure from Crystal Palace as Chelsea trying to play out from the back. And Disasi, right side of the area, brings it forward, gives it to Gusto. Gusto with a Chelsea Eton blue Under Armour underneath his away kit tonight. Sends it back to his goalkeeper in bright yellow. Thiago Silva strides forward, unchallenged, looks up. Still waiting to distribute the ball, decides instead he will run with it because no one was coming towards him. Now Mateta does, and he forces him into a pass back into Caicedo, who's occupying the edge of the D. He strolls forward, looks up, no pressure on him. Turns, waits, then runs a little bit further, stops again, turns, gives it back to Disasi. And then he feeds it out towards the near touchline in front of the dugouts where Malo Gusto is waiting for it. França engages, Chelsea are forced back. And then Disasi picks it up, runs the halfway, and then he's collided into by Mateta and Wharton. Mateta is penalised. It's going to be a free kick. Chelsea want to get it moving quickly.
The problem is with giving up possession and shuffling a lot, it's hard work, Sam. You do have a lot of graft because you're shuffling all the time, you're looking behind you, concentration. was fine early in the game. We saw it at the weekend. Everton did it as well as anyone.
Yeah, it was a really good performance live on TalkSport.
But they did have a threat on the break, though.
They did. Well, yeah, they had threats on the break. They had chances which they didn't take. Actually, they didn't maximise.
But the point I was getting, as they got tired second half.
Yeah. And then they brought on De Bruyne. Cheers. Here's Madueke.
And Bernardo Silva.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Madueke trying to help it on down the line. He's been a bit too casual with his touches, and that one wasn't purposeful, but it found its intended target. Malo Gusto tussling with Tyreek Mitchell for possession, trying to play it back to Madueke, and the challenge comes in from Jefferson Lerma, and it goes out of play down by the corner flag. They're on the attack here, Chelsea, down the right-hand side of the field as they look at it. The Palace left. It's collected by Gallagher, who runs to the corner flag, tries to play the ball centrally. It's away by Lerma. And he gets it right up towards Mateta, who does well. Then Caicedo comes across. Disassi gets there ahead of Hughes, and Chelsea win it back again.
It's good play from Mateta. Just got to get numbers to him when the Palace do get the ball up to him. They've got to get numbers up to him and give him a chance to bring them into play.
This is Madueke on the right wing position for Chelsea, taking on Tyreek Mitchell, trying to squeeze for a tight grab and doing just that, feeding the ball into the penalty area. And Cole Palmer just wasn't aware that it was coming his way. I don't think he expected Madueke to wriggle through that narrow little gap between the two Palace defenders. He did that and then fed the ball into the box, and there was no one there to get on.
France is struggling with his defensive work on this left side. It's not through lack of effort. He's not sure when to drop off, when to press. All sorts of problems. It's too easy for Chelsea down this right side. Down again now.
Malo Gusto now taking over and sending the ball into the penalty area, and it was so close to reaching Palmer, who made a near post run. Out came Henderson and grabbed it just behind him because it just flashed past the head of the £42.5 million signing from Manchester City. Four big
good
players. The header was by Ayew over on the far side, who's back from AFCON duty. Went out of the AFCON at the group stage with Ghana. His goals few and far between. 2 goals in his last 27 matches. He has the most Premier League goals in the current squad for Palace, and that is only 20. And he is the last Crystal Palace player to score a home league goal that isn't Elise or Eze, and they have relied probably too heavily on the guile and the wit of those two players. They've not won in 7 Premier League games without Eze, and between Eze and Elise, they've scored or assisted 58% of the Palace goals this season. 58%. Perhaps this is a huge blow.
Another example there, Sam. Palace went long early, which is what they should be. Ayew wins the header against Chelsea, but they don't pick up the seconds. They don't anticipate.
Ball out wide towards Chilwell. Chilwell cuts back, looks up, plays it back infield to Enzo Fernandez. Thiago Silva. 17 minutes gone. Crystal Palace 0, Chelsea 0. Here is Malo Gusto, over halfway. Touches it to Madueke. Chelsea at this moment in time content to hold on to possession, not waste it, even if that means not forcing the issue. They've had 80% of the ball up until this point, but no attempts on goal, a shot or anything up until this juncture to report. Lerma gets it back after a ball forward to Gallagher didn't come off. Then Mitchell misfires his clearance and it swirls out into the 6th row of this main stand that we're sitting in, and it's out for a Chelsea throw. Gusto travels forward, gets to the edge of the area, stops, plays it back. Caicedo, who's more central. Enzo Fernandez, who is dead centre of the Palace half, turns it into Silva. Then Caicedo. It was a little bit slow that from Chelsea. They've given the ball away cheaply, and Lerma looks to try and spring a counter-attack, but he's overrun the ball, lost it, and then fed França almost fortuitously. His ball over the top from Mateta is too heavy, runs off the surface and goes behind and away for a goalkeeper. That's the kind of thing that the Palace fans want to see.
Yeah, turnover in the middle of the pitch. They get the ball eventually out to France on the left. He tries the first time pass. Not a bad effort, actually. Over the top to Mateta. It's a decent spot. He looks comfortable on the ball. He looks like he's got plenty of confidence going that way. I just think defensively, Roy asks a lot of you, and he looks like he's overthinking where to go and when to go.
But that's something you can learn over time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Crystal Palace 0, Chelsea 0 on TalkSport with Now. And don't forget, with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Crystal Palace versus Chelsea live right now, contract free with a Now membership. Search Now Sports. This is Talksport. On the right side is Gusto, into Gallagher, good touch by him, turns it round the corner into Caicedo. He lifts the ball out towards the far side, and charging down the left into the wing position is Chilwell. Chilwell's cross takes a deflection, goes out for the first corner of the game. It's a Chelsea corner, and Michael Oliver has got a bit of a problem with his laces here. He's had to stop and do them up. Didn't do the double knot before he came out, clearly.
Schoolboy.
It's a Chelsea corner far side to be taken by Conor Gallagher. They commit 6 bodies into the penalty area and 1 on the edge, make that now 7 inside the box. And Cole Palmer is operating in the near post. A lot of them are in a bunch by the penalty spot. It comes in as they go towards the near post, flicked by Thiago Silva, almost scooted through to Jackson, was headed away by Lerma, and now here comes Crystal Palace on the counter. Mitchell trying to play the ball down the left-hand side. He almost found França. The intervention came from Malo Gusto. It was, and certainly had all the hallmarks of a peach of a ball going forward. Didn't quite make it. Chelsea on the attack. Jackson trying to get the better of Mitchell. Given away to Madueke. He plays the ball centrally, but França does well and wins it back. It's collected by Mateta. He gets up over the halfway line. He needs a bit of support now. He plays it through the centre circle and finds Jordan Ayew. Ayew scurries up towards the midpoint of the Chelsea half. Spires with Munoz. Then stops, goes back, gives it to Hughes, and they keep control possession here. Crystal Palace, they're looking a little bit more confident as the game goes on. We've played 20 minutes, still goalless. Mitchell, then Wharton, then back to halfway, and Chris Richards, the USA international they picked up from Bayern Munich. Jefferson Lerma has it, turns it home into Richards again. He's just in front of the centre circle, trying to spray out to the far side. Poor ball, cut out by Chilwell, who doesn't need much invitation to get forward and scurried up towards the halfway line with it before winning a throw on the far side. What have you made of the opening exchanges?
It's Palace have settled a little bit, had a little bit of joy on turnovers, but still very much defending their own goal and sitting off, which we expected. As I said, the big problem's going to be the fatigue in doing this, because Chelsea will grow into the game, and you think they're going to get some chances with the amount of possession you've just said. I mean, and this right side's it's feeling problematic. They keep getting in down this right hand side. I'm sure Roy will be talking to França. He's on his side, trying to help him when to drop off, when to go, but he's got to keep an eye on Gusto and Madueke when they double up down here against Mitchell. He's got to help it.
Well, Chelsea squeezed the pitch in the absence of Thiago Silva. The 39-year-old is many things, but his ability to step up and even his ability, his tendency to want to push up and condense the space like top teams prefer to do is something he doesn't fancy doing too often now. And Chelsea have pushed up to the halfway line here and tried to drive into the Palace half. It's a bit late for Mateta. Caicedo comes away with the ball, runs into traffic, and the referee plays on. Thiago Silva has to sprint forward now to take on Mateta, gets something on the ball but not enough. Mateta's still got possession. Disasti is down inside Palace territory as França comes forward. Chelsea now turn the ball over, and Madueke tries to skate clear, but he can't get past Adam Wharton, who brilliantly steps across him and puts the ball out of the way for a throw on this near side. Talksport on a Monday night. Disasti feels he was fouled in the build-up to that move from Crystal Palace. Was he?
No. He caught him on the end of the toe, but do you know what? I'm amazed he's up and jogging back so quickly. Absolutely amazed not. There's your big centre-half, your big tough centre-half, one of your leaders, screaming out loud, rolling around on the floor like he's just been shot. Ridiculous.
Here is Mateta in the box after Chelsea give the ball away. He shoots towards goal, and it's straight down the throat of Jordan Petrovic, who drops to his left and collects it. Well, there was a fast turnover of events. Chelsea threw the ball in right side. They had a problem with throwing the other night, didn't they?
Got to score.
Poked into Mateta, and actually that's a really good chance for him. He did have a player between him and the goalkeeper getting back to Thiago Silva, but he's got to test Petrovic a little bit more than he did.
No conviction in it, was there? Good turnover again, though. That's how Palace are going to get joy. Chelsea sloppiness, win it back in their half, get your shots away, get some chances.
It's Talksport. It's Monday night. Gusto, the latest Chelsea player to make a mistake. And look, that's what getting in and around them does. It forces you into errors.
Absolutely. The more time you get, the more comfortable you get. You need to put people under pressure, especially in their own half at times. It's just picking as and when. You can't do it all the time, like I said. I'm so frustrated that Disasi was running and rolling around on the floor there, and it was absolutely fine. I mean, has he not got friends and family watching? How can you do that? So exaggerate, such an exaggerated roll and dive around. It's pathetic.
He would say that maybe
He caught the end of his toe with a tiny little touch.
he might say that actually, he was trying to get his team a free kick.
Well, that's
It's gamesmanship,
Well,
simulation. Gusto down the right side, bounding into the box. Richards comes across, close to the ground, puts the ball out on this near side, and away for a throwing down by the corner flag. And Michael Oliver saying to Noni Madueke, you need to go further towards the right corner flag in order to take it.
You can't keep having 2v1s down one side and expect not to concede down that side. There's real headaches here. Francis, unfortunately, he's reactive with his defending, not proactive. It's not that he's not trying.
If your big centre-half went down like that and was screaming around, would you have a word with him?
Yeah.
What would you say?
I'd say stop embarrassing yourself. There's people watching, you've got family and friends, stop embarrassing yourself. There's a difference between going to ground because you got kicked and then getting back up. I mean, he's rolling around. He was fine, he then got up eventually when he knew he wasn't getting it and sprinted back. And it's nothing to do with Chelsea or Disasi, it's any player doing it. It's ludicrous. Once you haven't got the foul, get up. Nothing wrong with you.
Danny Murphy, who...
Oh, it's a pet hate of mine, that screaming and rolling around when you've hardly been touched.
He's up again, Disasi, and heading the ball forward, and Madueke is the recipient of his headed ball forward, and he's charging down the right, trying to take out Mitchell. He gets to the area, pulls it back, then tries an extra little trick when really he could have just put it straight into the box. He didn't, and that delayed things for Chelsea. That was a late challenge from behind by Ayew. It's going to give Chelsea a free kick, a good 12-13 yards back from the edge of the area on this right-hand side. But Madueke there, showing his qualities, his ability to drive forward the ball at his feet, carry it out the pitch. But when he got into the penalty area, he just took an extra touch. He did an extra trick when he could have put the ball into the centre.
Yeah, it should have went in. I think he was reluctant to put it in on his weaker foot, wasn't he? That's the problem when you play opposite foot on the right wing and left wing.
Chilwell, far side, collects the ball brilliantly, then takes on the defender, beats him, gets into the box, stumbles, pulls it back, finds Cole Palmer somehow, despite the fact that he was flailing as he tried to steer the ball into the path of his teammate, but he couldn't make the most of it, and Chelsea won it back again. Lovely touch by Caicedo round the back of Hughes. He then swings the ball out towards this near touchline, and Chelsea starting to play their passes again and look confident once more. It's a good ball by Fernandes down the right side, hoping that Madueke would break into the box, but he didn't spot it.
Well, he changed his run. He went there early and then came back. It was one of those, actually. I don't mind those misunderstanding. He did make some movement, Madueke. He wasn't being lazy, but he'd gone backwards again. It's just bad timing. Nice to see Chilwell. Didn't try and make the most of it. He slipped a little bit, jumped back up, tried to get up and carry on.
So he would be getting a gold sticker in the Danny Murphy dressing room, Chilwell.
No, he didn't get touched. He knows he's not going to get a penalty. That's one advantage of VAR, not that there are many. You're not going to get away with it, so you try and stay on your feet there because he didn't get touched.
Away by Dean Henderson, upfield it goes, high into the night sky in South London. It's a beautiful day in South London, actually. A few pictures doing the rounds on the old Gram of the big, bright orange sun.
The Gram.
The Gram. You're on.
You know what it is, and yeah, I am on it, but I don't go on it, but I do nose.
Here is
just when I'm bored.
Just when you're bored. Twice, 3 times a day?
Sometimes, no.
Here's Gallagher down the right-hand side. Madueke trying to get on the end of the ball round the corner. It's cut out by Richards and put out for a near touchline throw-in, which is taken quickly by Gallagher. Back into Gusto. And then it's on to Disasi. Disasi takes a couple of steps forward to halfway. Gusto goes back to his goalkeeper. And they build from the back again, Chelsea. We've played just over 28 minutes. You're listening to Talk Sport, live on a Monday night, with live football to come from the Champions League tomorrow, the Parken Stadium. Ali McCoist will be in Denmark tomorrow for the breakfast show.
He's in again.
As Chelsea come down the right once more. It's Gusto's cross, which takes a little deflection. Wharton tries to deal with it. It'll be won by Fernandes, picked up by Gallagher, poked wide towards the right. More space for Go to Gallagher instead, right angle of the penalty area. Back out to Gusto, right side. His cross feeds in towards the 6-yard box. It's away by Richards. Gallagher trying to keep it alive. Caicedo does. It's back for Enzo Fernandez. And Chelsea putting the pressure on now, squeezing right up to the edge of the box and pushing Palace back further and further towards their own goal. Caicedo's done very well so far in the game. He's won the ball back there in front of Mateta, where it looks as if he was going to give up possession, or Chelsea were. Forward it goes to Palmer, who drops deep, turns, looks over on the outside to find Chilwell. Jackson's playing a little bit more centrally today than he was in that game against Aston Villa.
Well, he's ventured in there. They've had a little swab, but he didn't start there. He's trying to come in and give Chilwell the space, but he should give some width on occasion, because they'll get doubles up, because Ayew's letting him go as well.
Gusto with a poor ball forward, and he's gifted possession to Mitchell, who sent it down the left side. It's Mateta who goes past Disasi too easily, gets into the box, produces a cross, headed away by Thiago Silva, drops on the edge of the area. What Jefferson Lerma was doing, brings like a karate kick at the ball, and it didn't come off, and Madueke brings it clear. Caicedo helps out his teammate. The ball runs for Jefferson Lerma, who will shoot from distance.
Crystal Palace goal is an absolute belter from 25 yards out. It came to him kindly after a tangle with Caicedo, and he thumped it. Petrovic went diving to his left, but the ball was arrowing into the top corner, and Crystal Palace are in front against Chelsea by a goal to nil. Madueke is the one who gives it away. And then Caicedo tries to get him out of trouble. What a strike that is. They'll obviously have a look, but Madueke poor. Good pressing from Mitchell. That's what we were talking about earlier. And when Lerma wins it back from Caicedo, he sets himself. He takes an extra second, Sam, just to make sure he gets the strike. I'm not sure I've seen a better strike than that this season. That is an absolute rocket.
He's caught it flush, and it's gone brilliantly past Jordan Petrovic and into the top corner. It was a brilliant cracking hit.
Well, you did say about Madueke earlier, he's been a bit sloppy with some of his touches. Yes, he's dynamic. Yes, he goes forward well with the ball, but occasionally he does something a bit silly, a bit casual.
It's 1-0 for Crystal Palace as a result of that. Thiago Silva brings the ball out of defence. Chelsea have conceded once again. It's something that they've done far too often this season.
The chances Palace have had, the 2 or 3 opportunities when Chelsea give the ball away in their own half. Poor play.
Well, Chelsea have got into a bit of a bad habit. Only Sheffield United and Luton Town have conceded first in more Premier League games this season than Chelsea. And they trail here. Chelsea are yet to have a shot in any way, shape or form, despite 78% possession.
Well, Palmer's their best player and they haven't got him in the game. He's playing centrally, but Palace have always played narrow under Roy and always played compact. The space is out wide. Where do you want your best player? I'd have played him on the right.
As Jackson gets it back from Enzo Fernandez. There's space out wide towards Gusto. Gusto into the penalty area. His cross, not a good one. Away by Chris Richards. He'll get it back again. Chelsea 1-0 down to Crystal Palace. Infield it goes. Moises Caicedo sends it infield. Collected by Enzo Fernandez and swept wide towards the left. Fernandez wants to return it to Chilwell, who's gone darting in the left wing position. It's towards Cole Palmer and touched away by Anderson, and then picked up over on the far side by Chilwell once again. Chelsea bring it forward. It's into Enzo Fernandez. Fernandez drives it towards Palmer, who's on the edge of the D, and he's backwards to goal, and Anderson nipped in, and now there's a chance for counter-attack for Crystal Palace, and away comes França up towards the edge of the area. His left-footed shot, well, it was a spooner.
I think he tried to toe-end it. See, I think Caicedo's got problem. He's gone down holding something, but Just on the Francis situation, I'm talking about Gusto. I said to you a second ago, he's in on the back post here. It's a 2v1 because Mitchell is marking Madueke. Gusto's in, they don't find him, but because Francis hasn't gone back with him, when the turnover happens, Francis then in because Gusto's so high, and the two centre-halves for Chelsea are then isolated and vulnerable. So it's a risk-reward situation, but I don't think Palace can carry on leaving Mitchell 2v1. It's going to hurt them.
Could Chelsea have any complaints about the foul on Moises Caicedo, or the alleged foul on Moises Caicedo which led to the goal?
I don't think there was enough in it. Not clear and obvious for me. Coming together, I mean, I haven't had the luxury of lots of snow, but I've had a quick look. But if you're going to faff around, to be fair to Caicedo, he's trying to make up for Madueke's poor play. He's trying to help him out. But they both should do better, Sam.
Now you're listening to Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 0 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has 450 branches with all the vehicles that your business needs. This is left knee, which is a bit of an issue. Moises Caicedo. He's getting some ice on that now. They stretch it out and calls it a
well, if it's not, it could be an impact injury from that tackle.
I think it was.
But then it's only a dead leg. He got a crack on.
I think. Madueke, the focus of attention, he's shaking his head. He knows he made a mistake. And it was his inability to clear the ball which caused them a real problem. He held on to it, probably too long, and then tried to play it towards Caicedo, and it was just soft, and he's done that a couple of times, and then Lerma picked it up, took a couple of steps and banged it in the corner.
That's top level elite football for you, you know. Bit of sloppiness, make a mistake, bang, you're done. It's happened to all of us.
1-0 to Crystal Palace, and for all of those good feelings and vibes after the Aston Villa performance, Chelsea are back in that place again. Here is Enzo Fernandez trying to spread the ball forward, cut out by Ayew. This is the Premier League. This is what it does to you. If you're not at your very best, you will get punished. You will end up suffering. Chelsea have suffered a lot this season so far. It's their third worst points per game season since 2003. Remarkably, they were even worse in 2015-16 and overall last year.
See, Palmer's moving around now. He knows he's not getting the ball up there high. He's gonna go where he wants to get on the ball. I love that about him. Just impact. You have players who know they're not impacting the game, so they go and find the ball to impact, and that's what he's got to do. He's got to get on the ball because he's the one for them. He's the one that can make the magic happen. It wouldn't surprise me to see a change at half-time, actually, for Pochettino, because I think Madueke's been sloppy.
Disasi down the right. Gusto back to Disasi once again. He goes back infield. Chelsea 79% possession in the game. No attempts on goal, no shots on goal, no shots off goal at this moment in time. And they've lost the ball to Crystal Palace on the halfway line. Gallagher tries to hunt it, and it goes all the way back to the goalkeeper away to our right-hand side, Dean Henderson.
Don't start. This is where they'll get done if they do this.
Playing out from the back.
Yeah, Palace, they've got to keep doing what they're doing. It's working. Long balls, percentages. Here we go.
Goalkeeper's come right out to the right fullback position. Ayew was chasing it into the left corner. Across came Disasi and tidied things up before Petrovic had to get involved. But had he lost the ball in that area, Chelsea were in trouble. It was a good long ball down that left-hand side for Ayew to chase.
Oh, they give it away
again, Chelsea, and Ayew is almost in. But
Madueke again.
Get hold of it. It's out towards the far side, and Chelsea are on the attack. Madueke's got to be a little bit careful. He looks a little bit like a rabbit in the headlights, and the problem is once you've made a mistake like that, he's desperate now to make up for it.
Yeah, true.
And he's doing probably more than he should do. Palmer in the dead centre of the Palace half. Palace spirits lifted by the fact that they lead by a corking goal to nil. Jefferson Lerma's first goal for them, an absolute beauty. Here's Nicholas Jackson trying to latch onto the end of a flick down by Chilwell. Anderson hooks it clear from inside the box on the right side. It bounces on the touchline, taken down by the stocky figure of Jordan Ayew, and then given back to Anderson, who hits it long, but it's straight to a Chelsea shirt. 7 to go before the break. Fernandes out to Chilwell, back into Fernandes again. Chelsea don't want to lose their confidence. I've just noticed though that since that goal goes in, all of a sudden Fernandes' passes, which were crisp in the first 10 minutes of the game, have stopped becoming so.
No, he's not done enough, Sam. He's not done enough. If you're playing in the middle of the park against a team that's dropping off and condensing space, you've got to be the one. Play balls over the top, into people's feet, give and goes, round the corners. You've got to be the one to open the team up. Not done enough. Because he's got it in him.
6 to go before half-time. We saw that on Wednesday night, didn't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant with Caicedo in that midfield area. His best performance in a Chelsea shirt. Rumours of him departing the club or requesting to do so been a little bit premature, and he wanted to make that point. It's currently Chelsea 1, Chelsea 0, Palace 1, and for the latest odds you can head to Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Crystal Palace to win the game 6.
4% di remunerazione cashback BBVA fino al 2025 senza fare niente.
Caicedo back out to his right hand side, and it's collected by Gusto into Madueke. He stretches past Tyreek Mitchell, then guides it back to Disasi, and then Caicedo nudges it into midfield, and it's given straight to Gallagher. Enzo Fernandez helps it on at pace, out towards the left-hand side. Chilwell races, tries to get the cross in. It's blocked by Munoz and goes out of play and away for a throw-in.
So a minute before that, long ball up for Palace. Mateta wins it, but Will Hughes can't quite get there to get the seconds because he's having a little breather, which is understandable, by the way, because they're putting a hell of a lot of graft and effort in. And that's where I'm talking about. They're trying to keep it up, that winning second balls and getting yourself up the pitch.
Good touch by França, infield it goes. It's gone from Munoz and then out towards the wide right-hand side. Munoz got there before the Chelsea player, and that's allowed Palace to attack, and Munoz has been sent down the right side. He's got a wrong side of Thiago Silva. He take a little tumble, and the referee had a little look at that. Nothing doing at this moment in time as Palace went down that right side. Munoz is very fast, the player they got from Belgian football. He's 27 years of age, the Colombian.
He didn't really appeal, Sam, to be honest, though. I doubt it's only going to be anything. Nice to see him getting forward, though.
Gusto takes it over halfway for Chelsea, who trail here to that goal from Jefferson Lerma after 31 minutes. It was a cracking hit, and it came about after a Chelsea mistake. Madueke.
I think cracking is a little bit underwhelming for how good that was.
Okay, do you want to give us an alternative adjective?
Delicious.
Delicious, okay. That delicious strike from Lerma.
No, that's not very good either. I'll think of another one.
Okay, here is
wonderful.
Madueke down the right-hand side, trying to force the ball into the box, or given away by Richards. Comes back to Caicedo. Caicedo's dispossessed by Wharton, and then França robs him and runs over halfway at pace, and he motors through the centre circle, and he continues his run. Matthias França, he takes on Thiago Silva, who pinches the ball at the last moment, but it was a purposeful run which dragged Crystal Palace up the pitch by a very talented player.
Great break, wasn't it? That's what the fans gets him off the sea. He's dribbling at people, he's running at people, getting them on the back foot. Good play from Wharton as well, wasn't it? That tackle on the edge of the box. He's been really disciplined in there.
Well, first start for him tonight.
I've got the word, exquisite.
Exquisite. All right, okay.
It took me a while, but
goal.
Not really my job.
You complained about me giving the word cracking to it. Belting I used when the goal went in, first of all.
Cracking's more like, you know, like someone you meet down the pub, you have a laugh. He's a cracking lad, isn't he?
Yeah.
Not really a cracking strike, doesn't work. I don't. Oh, well played.
Have you never met an exquisite bloke down the pub?
No, I haven't actually.
It's Gusto. Back in field to Caicedo.
I don't think there's a human I've ever met I would call exquisite.
Really? Disappointing for you. Here's Thiago Silva down the side of the centre circle. Played it wide out towards the left-hand side. Collected by Chilwell, prodded on into the path of Gallagher. Gallagher tries to turn, but he's under a little bit of pressure when he does so. Chelsea still yet to have a shot on goal. Fernandes over on the far side. Back to Thiago Silva. And then it's collected by Caicedo. Reverse ball into Jackson. Good ball back to Madueke. Very tight right in the middle of the pitch. It goes wide towards Gusto. Lovely cross into the centre. And Gallagher can't get there. It's away by Anderson. Comes out on the edge of the box and Ayew will clear. Beautiful cross that by Malo Gusto, who then basically makes a huge error and puts the ball out of play on this near side.
Good cross from Gusto, wasn't it? Teaser right in that alleyway between defenders and the keeper, just managed to get back and get it away. Sorry.
Is that where if they had an out-and-out striker, there would be someone attacking that?
More often than not, they've been making those runs. Yeah, you can't say they'd always be making that exact run, but they thrive. Good strikers thrive on good quality balls in the box.
1-0 to Crystal Palace. Jefferson Lerma with the goal, the only goal so far in the game, which separates these two teams. Chelsea, coming off the back of their best performance, have offered zero in attack up until this point. They've dominated the ball, they've kept hold of it, occasional passage of enterprising play, but nothing to show for their dominance of the ball so far. It's Chilwell travelling down the left side into Enzo Fernandez. Now Caicedo in the dead centre of the Palace half. Gallagher keeps it moving out to Madueke. Madueke looks to try and take on the defender, comes back to Gusto. Gusto shovels it out towards the far side. It's flicked away by Munoz, but it wasn't a great delivery by Malo Gusto.
I think it's a huge couple of minutes in the game, this, Sam.
Can they get through to half-time without conceding here, Palace?
That'll give everyone a huge lift at Palace, give them belief, something to hold on to.
And Chelsea have had an uptick in their goals output. They've scored in 15 of the last 17 Premier League games. They're behind here. Oh, given away by França. Madueke's picked it up. He's played it into Gallagher, who's turned and shot towards the far corner and dragged it just narrowly wide. Good move that by Chelsea, but it came about intricately on the edge of the box after a mistake initially by França, who poked it straight to Madueke.
Well, he's unlucky, Sam, because he gets back in, which is what we're talking about, and he just stretches and it goes to Madueke, who played good little touch on the edge of the box, gives it to Gallagher, snatches at it a little bit, but that's the first little sniff we've seen from Chelsea, really.
Yeah, first attempt by Chelsea, and it was off target from Conor Gallagher. It was a good quick turn, but couldn't find the target with it, and it remains 1-0 to Crystal Palace live on TalkSport. And we're in the first of 3 added minutes at the end of the first half.
Good head again.
Jordan Ayew's good at that.
He is.
Cleared high up into the air by Henderson. He will win headers regularly for you. He's an industrious player, isn't he, Jordan Ayew, if nothing else?
Yeah, he's reliable, isn't he, with the ball as well. When you play up to him, he very rarely gives it away.
Madueke trying to get in behind Tyreek Mitchell. Just leant out of the way of the ball, then tried to take on Mitchell. He thought he was dragged to the floor by him. The referee is not giving anything. And intervenes brilliantly on the near touchline to keep the ball in play. Chelsea have it back again. They've only got mere seconds to go before the half-time whistle. 90 of them to play. Madueke moving up towards the edge of the box. Gallagher's trapped by 3 Palace jerseys. He's trying to take the ball out towards his near side. He looks to try and win a corner. Did his best, but getting out of a vice-like grip of 3 players. I've seen the ball go behind and away for a goal kick away to our right-hand side.
See, I do believe when you play against a team, if you have a lot of the ball and you play against a team...
It's definitely a corner, by the way.
Not a Chelsea fan, are you?
I'm just telling you.
When a team plays narrow and deep, the space is out wide. I always think if you're going to play against a team that drop off and you have lots of the ball, you need a right foot on the right and a left foot on the left. I've always believed that. Very hard for them to come inside and get. Every time Madueke gets down there, he's trying to go on his left. They know. I like to see. I know they like getting the fullbacks forward.
We're just seeing a replay of the incident involving Thiago Silva and França at the other end, where França went, Munoz went down, didn't appeal for the penalty. We mentioned that a little bit earlier.
It was a little too. I think that'd have been hard.
Push in the back there from Thiago Silva.
Oh, I was looking more at the leg collide with Chilwell.
No, yeah, there was that there too, but I think just before that there was the push in the back from Thiago Silva, a little elbow into the top of his spine, which I think I would have looked at and said no clear and obvious error. Ball out of play over on the far side, and it's a Chelsea throw, and we've played our 3 minutes of added time now at the end of the first 45, and Michael Oliver calls it to a halt as a result of that. Well, all the talk before the game was of trouble at the Palace, but so far, no sign of revolt because Palace are on top against the Princes from the King's Road. The goal came from Jefferson Lerma, and it was a regal strike. An absolutely exquisite drive from the edge of the box to give Palace the lead. Chelsea barely had a flourish in front of goal. They've had one effort, it was well off target. Apart from that, lots of the ball, but no penetration. Half time, Palace 1, Chelsea 0.
Well, Ray Lewington in his shorts went running towards the tunnel. Mauricio Pochettino a little way behind him, head staring at the ground all the way. He's got plenty to think about, and Roy Hodgson just lapping it all up. Palace lead by a goal to 0, and pick your adjective to describe Jeff Lerma's goal. Splendid,
yes.
Superb, staggering,
yes.
Savage, vicious, ferocious, ruthless. My favourite, feral. Stuart Pearce would say he hit it with violence. Whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to say about it, it did.
I watched him, and you think, go on, hit it, and he gave himself, he realised he had the space to give himself an extra yard to set himself to hit it with that power. And if you watch it back again, you'll see that the obvious delay when he strikes the ball, and we used to say, well, you know, we used to say when you hit it clean. When you hit a ball clean,
Sweetened, yeah.
You know, it doesn't deviate. It's going. Very rarely happens in your career. I had a few, I was lucky, not many, but a few where they come off your foot and you think, there's no chance that's being stopped. And that was one of those. It was a moment of pure pleasure from a footballing perspective.
In the build-up to it, let's just analyse what Chelsea did or didn't do, because I was looking at a few of their players, and listen, it is a great hit, I don't want to take anything away from that, but Conor Gallagher was standing there appealing for a foul and a free kick. Madueke taking forever on the ball when he needed to get it out of danger. Disasi pathetically turning his back on the shot, scared of getting hurt. You mentioned that earlier in the game as well. And Caicedo, although he got an injury, I appreciate that, he wasn't convincing with his attempts to clear the ball either. So a lot wrong from a Chelsea point of view. And the reason I bring that up is not to devalue the strike, it's because they could have avoided it.
Do you know what they've done? They've got lulled in aid into casualness. And they've got lulled into casualness because the amount of possession. And they think it's easy. And it's a real easy trap to fall into against a side that drops off and waits for their moment. They started edging up a little bit and choosing their moments to go into the Chelsea off and try and get turnovers. And they got a couple, they got some joy. But Chelsea have fallen into that trap on occasion. Nearly all Palace's chances have come from Chelsea giving the ball away in their own half. And that's because they've fallen into the trap of casualness because they're having so much possession. And elite players, experienced players, when you watch City do it, they don't fall into that trap. You don't see Rodri falling into that trap. It doesn't happen. Bernardo Silva, we never fall into that trap. And that's the difference. And these are young lads, but
Yeah.
Madueke's been poor.
Oh, he has. He's annoyed the hell out of me.
He's been too casual.
I mean, I'll tell you what, Danny, when he's had the ball, he's had chances to cross it, and he's gone
Yeah, we
back
talk about
again
these
to try and show
all the
how
time as
brilliant
ex-players.
his
What is your
tricks
job
are.
as a right winger?
He is. I think he's got terrific talent,
shots in,
but he is so annoying. I'm not even a Chelsea fan, and he's just annoying me watching him.
A game changer. Do you know what it is?
Well,
A wonderfully talented player who needs guidance and coaching quickly, because when you in your position, what is your job? You know, we talk about these simple things all the time as ex-players. What is your job as a right winger? You get some crosses in, and nearly get some shots in, and you threaten. That's his only impact. You may create chances. You need to be. Jackson's not been much better.
No, that's true.
I haven't seen him. I don't remember talking about him.
Absolutely.
Has he had a
true.
shot?
He went central when Palmer went deep because Palmer was frustrated not getting
And the
ball.
biggest compliment we can pay Palace is that Palmer is the least impact I've seen him have in a Chelsea shirt since he signed.
One thing, very briefly, you said there, which is key, they are young, and this is a Chelsea policy of getting young players. What it means is they can't manage games. They've had 79% of the ball, they've had one effort, none on target. Those stats pale into insignificance next to the Palace ones of 6 efforts a goal, 3 on target from 21% of the ball. You've got to know how to use the ball when you have a lot of it, and I don't think they know it because they're not experienced enough.
It is experience, but do you know, there's another word you use watching Chelsea I find a lot, is urgency. It's like they're playing a pre-season friendly where they're comfortable. You know, we'll play, we'll pass, we'll try and score. Oh no, it doesn't work, we'll go out the other side. You're 1-0 down in a Premier League game. Get on the ball, play forward, get some give and goes, get some runners in behind, win some tackle, play with some urgency. Not round the back, switch, right, left. There's a lack of, I don't know, the manager's got to create some urgency in the players if the players can't do it themselves.
He must be so frustrated, Mauricio Pochettino. That was his look as he went down the touchline towards the tunnel. He looked very, very frustrated because he's seen them play so well last week at Villa and seen them be so wasteful and poor, really, and fall behind here at Crystal Palace tonight. Live on Game Night, it is Palace 1, Chelsea 0. TalkSport Breakfast with Ali McCoist and Andy Townsend. 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Guests will include the former Manchester United defender Rio Ferdinand is on the show. The former Man City captain and manager Stuart Pearce is on as well to preview Man City's trip to Copenhagen, which is live on TalkSport tomorrow night, and Ali McCoist in Copenhagen for that breakfast show from 6 a.m. tomorrow on TalkSport.
The football season is well and truly underway with Betfair. And if you're looking to get involved in all the action, then look no further. At Betfair, we've made it faster and easier to build your ACCA this football season. Celebrate this weekend with a completely free ACCA or Bet Builder on football. Betfair.
Opt-in and previous deposit required. Max free bet varies from £1 to £10 per customer. Minimum odds of 1.5 on minimum one leg. T's apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org. Monday Game Night on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org. We all fantasize about our perfect home. Watching the big game, cozied up in the snug.
Another 7-0 win!
Balmy summer nights with the kids playing on the lawn.
We're playing real-life football!
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of June 2022 and 30th of September 2022 is under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
At Screwfix, we're giving all our customers a big boost this February with 10% off orders placed on the Screwfix app. Simply download the app, turn on your exclusive app offer permissions, and job done. Your Screwfix Boost discount code will be delivered to you the very next day. You can then use the code to place as many Screwfix app orders as you like in February and get 10% off every time. Still not downloaded the Screwfix app? Download now. T's and C's apply. No minimum spend. For full details, visit screwfix.com.
Chicken selects.
McNuggets.
Chicken selects.
McNuggets.
Chicken selects.
McNuggets.
Chicken selects.
McNuggets.
Chicken select.
Hang on. Whether you're a McNuggets connoisseur or a Chicken Selects mega fan, come together with the McDonald's Chicken Combo for just $16.99. With 20 Chicken McNuggets, 10 Chicken Selects, and 8 dips, there's something for every chicken lover. Available 10th of Jan until 28th of May on delivery options at participating restaurants only. Fees apply from 11 a.m. Price may vary, subject to availability.
Hope there won't be any VAR delays today. Heard that rumour about their striker.
Can't wait to see what the pundits make of that booking. Looking forward to the match report on this one. When it comes to football, never miss a story. Get the best news, opinion, interviews and gossip at thesun.co.uk. For the football lowdown every day, it's thesun.co.uk.
Playing host for the big game? Feed the squad with a meal deal exclusively on Just Eat. Save over 45% on KFC's finger kicking double bucket and 25% or more on matchday meal deals from Burger King, Pizza Hut Delivery, German Doner Kebab, Greg's and more. It's the easiest win of the season.
Did somebody say just it?
Participating stores in selected locations, subject to availability. Saving compared to individual items. Delivery fees and other charges may apply. End 17th of March. See justeat.co.uk for details.
Monday game night on TalkSport with Now. Stream all the Sky Sports action like Crystal Palace versus Chelsea live today. Contract free with a Now membership. Search Now Sports. 18 plus. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
Leave behind the workday blues. More live football on a Monday night.
What a chance, what a goal!
This is game night.
On Talk Sport.
Ball right to Jefferson Lerma, who will shoot from distance. What a strike from Jefferson Lerma! His first Crystal Palace goal is an absolute belter from 25 yards out, and Crystal Palace are in front. Goal to nil.
Live on game night, Palace lead Chelsea 1-0, and 2017 was the last time Palace beat Chelsea, and that was a Chelsea team with Eden Hazard, Cesc Fabregas making magic, Thibaut Courtois in goal. They still lost here under Antonio Conte to a Roy Hodgson team. Palace leading 1-0 at the break. Let's get the half-time odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
But Palace are even money to win it. Draw is 2-1. Chelsea is 16-5 to come back and win it. That was the latest odds with Ladbrokes. Play at ladbrokes.com. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Odds update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Manchester City head to Copenhagen tomorrow for the first leg of their Champions League knockout game. It's live on TalkSport tomorrow night ahead of the clash. Pep Guardiola has been speaking to the media and started off by saying how pleased he is to be back in the crucial end of the Champions League once again.
Happy to be there. We did our job in group stage and back to the business competition, and the first game in last 16 away is always, maybe you don't have mentally the rhythm for the Champions League, and huge respect for the opponent. We have seen the last weeks what they did it in the group stage, knock out United, Man United and Galatasaray. Was not really easy group, and they did it really well in all the games, and we will not define tomorrow, try a good result to try to finish the job in Manchester.
There you go, Pep Guardiola, Man City boss, ahead of their trip to FC Copenhagen tomorrow. Copenhagen in the group from which Manchester United finished bottom, remember, round of 16, first leg tomorrow night. It's live on TalkSport. I'll be your host, Jim Proudfoot, commentating alongside the former City captain and manager Stuart Pearce. Danny Murphy, just very quickly, can Man City do back-to-back trebles? Pep doesn't seem to think so.
They can, yes, they're capable.
How likely?
Unlikely, because everything needs to go your way. And I think the competition they're up against in the Premier League is harder this season than it was last, going to push them more. So, yes, they can, but I don't think they will.
Well, Man City have another leg of that, another little step along the way towards back-to-back trebles as they are in Denmark to face Copenhagen. Round of 16, Champions League, tomorrow night begins live on TalkSport. Same time, it's Swansea against Leeds from the Championship, live and exclusive on TalkSport 2, commentary of that. And the show comes live from Ashton Gate, Bristol City, taking on Southampton. What are they up to now? 25 unbeaten? I think I've lost count. 20, I think
it's amazing, isn't it? That game of the weekend.
They were 2 down and 3-2 down.
Huddersfield, yeah. What about the strike?
Joe Rothwell's strike?
Oh.
Okay, do you go with Rothwell's strike or Lerma's strike?
Oh, if you're doing it in the Premier League, it's always better. It has to be.
Oh, hey, a strike is a strike, no matter if it's Parks football or what.
No, because it's less pressure.
Well, literally, there was nobody around it. Come on.
I understand what you mean. You can score a wonder goal in any level of professional and still be a wonder goal, and it was a wonder goal.
It really was, yeah.
But if you're saying it's only going to be remembered by him and a few people at the game. This will get replayed every time Palace play Chelsea for the next 10 years.
Technically, that Joe Rothwell strike at Southampton, he's on the edge of the box.
Yeah, no, it's better.
He kind of gets his right leg over the ball, doesn't he? It's so brilliant. He keeps it out.
Well, you might have scored a wonder goal in your school team.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Many times.
A couple of them.
Technically brilliant, but it doesn't mean anything.
Olympico from a corner. It meant the world to me. I was one of the worst.
I tell you what, on a serious note, if it was to stay 1-0 and that was the winner, that could really turn their season back into a more positive place. You know, this place, the fans, the manager being secure. And what did Sam say before? With 8 points if they win, Sam? I think the reality is that goal, irrelevant of how good it is compared to others, could be so significant for Palace. But they've got a big 45 coming up, as we know.
Well, the fans did have banners behind the goal. They said weak transfer policy, youth scapegoated. Another one said the fans of the club. Another one, supporters ignored and taken for granted. Another very detailed banner behind the goal said soulless light shows, tifos banned, banners removed for LED advertising. It's not just about results. It's not just about the way they play. The fans here think there's a lot that's wrong with Crystal Palace Football Club.
Have you ever taken a banner to a ground?
No. Do you know me? That's not going to happen, is it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, who does that?
Well, this is their lives. And there's nothing wrong with that. Listen, I had a moment when I was about 15 and we're 2-1 down to extra and I thought, I can't do this every Saturday. And here I am. We're about to get the second half underway. Palace lead by a fairly decent Jeff Lerma goal to 0 against Chelsea. Second half, live on Game Night, on TalkSport, with the former England midfielder Danny Murphy, with Sam Matpace.
That Joe Rothwell goal was exquisite.
It was. It's a great word.
Well, the Jefferson Lerma goal,
ferocious Rothwell's goal was,
which was a cracking, exquisite, however you want to describe it, was the 1000th top-flight goal that Crystal Palace have scored, and it divides these two teams at half-time. But they haven't really had a good time against Chelsea for quite some while. They haven't beaten the Blues since October 2017, and was Roy Hodgson's first win as Palace boss. No surprise really that Chelsea are going to make a change at half-time, and Noni Madueke, whose first half was disappointing, has been replaced by Christopher Nkunku at the start of the second half. What do you make of it?
Well, I think it was inevitable he was going to be brought off. He had such a poor first half. It's just where he plays. It looks like he's going to play, well, we'll see, on the left. Cole Palmer's over on the right, which I think he probably prefers, which is a problem now for Palace because he'll drift in. And then Nkunku or Jackson will play down the left-hand side. So, yeah, positive move for Chelsea. Had to be. Sometimes you need... I remember coming off home to Leeds for Liverpool once upon a time, and we 2-0 down. A few of us had been struggling. You know, when you put your head down, think, it's not me, is it? And as I walked in, Houllier said to me, you've had enough, get yourself a shower. And you just feel like, honestly. But he was right. It was just one of those days.
One of those days for the technical team here at Crystal Palace as well, because Michael Oliver is having a rejig with his technical kit, and he's now going to have to go down the tunnel again to get redressed and re-sorted out, because he's
only had 20 minutes.
His communications to the VAR has been disrupted. So yeah, he's had 15 minutes of the half-time break to make sure that's all working. It wasn't, and when he's come out for the second half, he's found that his communications have been disrupted. As a result of that, we've got 22 players just kicking a ball around.
Can you imagine having to ref a game with no communication in his ear, only his whistle? My God, poor fella.
Well, I think he's done it in the FA Cup, hasn't he, recently?
Just get on with it, man.
Well, we're sitting here waiting, 6 minutes past 9, already a little bit later than scheduled. The second half of Crystal Palace against Chelsea, with Chelsea trying to come back and continue their record of being pretty damn hard to beat in the London derby. They have the best record in London derbies this season. Palace have the worst, but it's Palace who lead by a 0-0 at half-time. And not only have Chelsea changed Nkunku up top for Chelsea, they need to change the approach. Those two boys in midfield who did so well in the game against Aston Villa just haven't been as productive this time around.
Well, they're both too deep, Sam. I think they're both too deep. I think one of them can go higher off and let just one of them sit in there. I think against the teams where you dominate, I mean, I don't know what it was in the end, first half possession, but
80%.
Was it 80? So if you've got 80%, you don't need two holding players. I get against Villa it worked nicely because Villa are coming onto you. But in a game like this, one of them should be there, firing it into the other two ahead of him, giving them nice. Then he's got 5 options ahead of him. You know, a bit like Arsenal do a lot. I know they played Jorginho alongside Declan for the Liverpool game, but generally they'll play 2 ahead of Declan. And Liverpool do the same, whether it's Endo sitting in there or McAllister, and everyone else is ahead, so you've got all the different options.
Ben Chilwell's had enough. He's just come over towards this near side. He's gone down into that little area where they're trying to sort out the VAR communications, and he's saying, "Any chance you can just get on with it? Let's just start playing." And he's been sent away by the fourth official, is Craig Pawson today. He's all smiles as Michael Oliver, I think, gets a completely new kit. Jesus Perez has just come out to try and rev up the Chelsea troops and say, "Come on, we've got to get on with it now. We've got to get this done and dusted. We've got to get back into this game somehow." Still, Michael Oliver has to continue to get plugged up for his refereeing communications. I mean, come on, we've had 3 minutes of this now. I had enough time for another lion bar.
I went with the crunchy.
Did
was
you?
Lower in calories.
Was it?
I do love a crunchy though.
I love a lion bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, big fan of a lion bar.
I do like a lion bar. Don't get me wrong.
No.
Yeah, that'd be in my top 5.
Oh, definitely. Just so much variety in a lion bar. Crikey. This is dull. Come on, Michael Oliver, sort yourself out, change your batteries, and get on with it. We're waiting for the referee to turn up for the second half. It's now been 21 minutes of half-time.
It's becoming a bit of a
pain in the backside.
Yeah, well, it's a joke.
There's a problem. There's obviously clearly a problem. It's not working. It's just abandoned it. He's got his microphone back on now. Looks a little bit like Madonna in the Vogue video. He's having something strapped to his right bicep, and still we wait for him to get things underway again. It is frustrating for the players as well, because they've been out for 6 minutes now.
Well, never mind the kids who are here, Sam, who are, you know, gonna be at bed at silly o'clock tonight by the time they get home.
Mauricio Pochettino's gone back and sat down. Got a little bit of criticism at half-time on a couple of Chelsea fan sites for not being demonstrative enough and demanding enough inside the technical area.
Yeah, I hear that. I actually hear that, because I'd have been absolutely apoplectic with some of the decision-making by some of my players. I don't mind, you know, losing out on a bit of quality, or trying to do the right things is key. And the players weren't, there was no urgency. There was flicks and tricks, losing possession in their own half. Yeah, get out there and tell 1 or 2 of them. Give them a rocket.
Well, Mauricio Pochettino has now got off of his seat, and he's come over towards this near side. We've started to play a bit of music inside the stadium now, just to lift things, because it's become so dull and boring. The fans away to our right-hand side have started to boo and whistle. Now they're getting into a little bit of a sing-song, because they're just singing a bit of Bob Marley. Well, they have gallows humour for you.
Why can he not go out and ref a game with just his whistle, and some his fourth official can shout him over if there's a VAR decision that needs looking at?
Hey, don't worry about a thing. Everything's going to be all right. 3 little birds, come on. You're supposed to get in the spirit of it.
It's one of my favourites. I love a bit, Bob.
Crystal Palace fans got in the spirit of it. Have you seen the film? You're going to see the film when it comes out?
Yeah,
it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to that. I was in
Have you been to the
museum? I haven't, no.
Great.
Where's
really
that?
Jamaica.
I've never been to Jamaica. I would like to do that, because
many years ago I went. It was
fantastic. And the music, Bob Marley's music and the Wailers, fantastic music. And the film looks great. I was in a cinema the other week watching that Oscar-nominated film Poor Things, and actually the trailers came up beforehand, and it was a big extensive trailer of the Bob Marley film. And I thought, yeah, I'm having some of that. I'm not a big cinema goer.
I'm not really. No.
But you know what happened to the cinema? They say it's going to start at a certain time, and it does.
Good point. Well, it doesn't. It doesn't, you're wrong. The adverts start. You don't get the films till about half hour later, do you?
20 minutes.
If you look at the cinema and it says 20 past 6, you know you can get there at 22. I'm like you, I like the
trailers.
I like the trailers.
Yeah, a little bit of popcorn,
pick
and mix. Oh, look at this, we've got a referee. And we're underway for the start of the set. Quite a lot, to be honest with you. It looks to me like it's probably about, what, 8, is that? 24 minutes of half-time instead of 15, so 9 more minutes extra than we were supposed to have. And we're underway with that Nkunku change as the only one at the start of the second 45. And the fans, the fans now are singing the Bob Marley tune. Here is Disasi. I'll run through the 2 11s for you with Crystal Palace leading the way by goal to nil. Henderson in goal, Munoz, Anderson, Richardson, Mitchell, Lerma, Wharton and Hughes in midfield. Ayew, Mateta and França up top. Chelsea with Petrovic in goal, Gusto at right back, Disasi, Silva and Chilwell, Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo. Nkunku, Gallagher, Palmer up top. Chelsea with Petrovic in goal, Gusto at right back, Disasi, Silva and Chilwell, Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo. Nkunku, Gallagher, Palmer and Jackson going forward, and Chelsea's configuration of their attack is Palmer on the right hand side, Jackson through the centre, and he's got help from Nkunku coming in off that left, but it looks a little bit narrow at this moment in time. We'll see how it pans out. Chelsea on the attack, down the right. Malo Gusto into the penalty.
Just 1 minute and 22 seconds into the second half. Conor Gallagher leaning back, first time volley, past the stranded goalkeeper. The cross from Gusto was good, the finish instinctive, and it piled past the goalkeeper, Dean Henderson, and Chelsea have come out at the start of the second half and levelled it up within 2 minutes of the restart. Well, it's down the right-hand side, we talked about it, França switches off. Great ball from Gusto, pulls it back, brilliant finish from Gallagher. Did him a disservice earlier talking about his lack of end product. That's a wonderful goal. Confidence is up, bang, have that. Pulled it back from Gusto. But Mitchell's been... He's gone inside tracking Palmer's run. Gusto has to be tracked by França. I talked about it all first half. It's just an... And it did.
Finished by Conor Gallagher. Was well thought of at Palace. He only got 3 in 100 before the Wednesday night last week, or 3 in 99 before last week. He's got 2 in 2 now, and that was a really good finish. And now it's the Chelsea fans who are singing, don't worry about a thing, because everything's going to be all right.
But I'm really surprised that Roy hasn't addressed it at half-time. I mean, I can see it here, he can see it, he stood in front of him, he kept getting him, but you've got to track the runner. And they'll get in again down that right-hand side, because Palmer will bomb in, and France is so far away from Gusto.
I wonder whether or not Palace were affected by the delay after the extensive pause that we had at half-time. Would that be something that could be possible?
No. I just think if you don't...
Saw the previous month, Eric Cantona had just been sentenced for kicking a Crystal Palace fan, and Pierce Brosnan had just started his stint as James Bond. Danny Murphy was developing a golden eye for a pass with Dele Adebola at Crusty Road.
Good times. Take me back.
Chelsea have won a corner kick away to our left-hand side. 1-1 the score. And Gallagher was going to take it quickly, and then has then re-spotted the ball on the edge of the quadrant. And Chelsea fans have now adopted the Bob Marley tune as their own. Here's Gallagher, right-footed. Hit away. There's a good flick on by Thiago Silva, which guiding towards the goal, and it was away by Mateta, who was right inside the 6-yard box, and he needed to get something on that because that was a certain goal otherwise. Good delivery into the box, and a good near-post run by Thiago Silva to flick the ball behind him. Nkunku's won it back on the halfway line off the pressure from Jackson initially, and it's forward by Fernandez, stopped by Wharton, goes back into midfield. Caicedo lost it momentarily, he's got it back again. Centre field is Fernandez, out towards the near side. Chilwell, into Enzo Fernandez again, and it's back to Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva back to Enzo Fernandez, and Chelsea looking more confident now they have that goal, which has levelled things up. At the start of the second 45, Malo Gusto trying to keep it in far side. He's then chased by França. He's done well to get away from him. despite the attentions of France, Chelsea come away with the ball.
Good race that, it's quick, Gusto, good recovery, nice feet as well.
Silva on halfway, 51 minutes on the clock. Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 1. Conor Gallagher with the finish for them. Second goal in less than a week.
Here we go.
Come down the right again. It's Malo Gusto into a good position. He's joined by Palmer. Palmer can create from the edge of the box. Left-footed strike towards the near post. And it's only narrowly wide of that left-hand upright from Cole Palmer. First time we've seen him have a shot on goal tonight.
Well, he's going to get plenty of the ball this second half because he's starting on the right and he can drift in when the space is there, and when not, he'll stay wide. The problem Mitchell's got is that he has to stay with Cole Palmer, and therefore Gusto's free. So you either go to Gusto yourself and get Richards over, or you've got to get França to get back. Look, Lerma's talking to França now. I don't know what he's saying, but he needs to say it quick, because Chelsea will score again down that, from that right-hand side if they carry on the way they are.
Fernandes into Palmer, who dollies the ball up into the air. Anderson should get... Oh, he lost it underneath the floodlights, and then Nkunku almost capitalised on the drop. And as the ball went down the left side of the penalty area, as Chelsea look at it, Anderson managed to get it away. Fernandes has helped it onto Nkunku. Lovely touch into Jackson. A little flick into Fernandes, back towards the edge of the box at Nkunku, and it doesn't quite come off on that occasion, and it's cleared. Only half cleared by Palace. They've won it back, Chelsea.
Better Chelsea, first to every second ball. Tempo's better. They've obviously had a kick up the backside, rightly so as well. Tempo, everything's better. I know the goal helps, but still.
Ball out wide to Malo Gusto. And it goes to Disasi, and then back onto the feet of Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer infield, finding Fernandes. He slides it forward to Gallagher, who tangles with Hughes, and it's going to be a free kick in the Palace half away to our left. Pochettino, now not happy, comes out, starts making a few movements on the edge of the technical area. He's having a go at Craig Pawson. And it's going to be a free kick to Crystal Palace, away to our left. 53 minutes gone. We had a huge delay. If you've just joined us, we've only played 8 minutes of the second half. Chelsea have got on the score sheet during that period, but we had a huge delay at half-time because Michael Oliver's communications equipment with the VAR and the fourth official and his two assistants was not working. And they ended up having a 24-minute half-time break. I wonder whether Roy Hodgson will suggest that maybe his players were switched off, a little bit like that battery pack. Here is Jackson, who's coming back from an offside position, and a free kick is given to Crystal Palace on halfway, 1-1. Chelsea started the weekend with the same number of points as this stage last season. There are some that think that Pochettino has got off a little lightly. There are others that believe the organisation has plunged Chelsea into a state of flux that would make it very difficult for anyone to operate in. There's a lot of young players out on that pitch again tonight. The average age was 22.8 for the Aston Villa game. It's significantly advanced by the presence of Thiago Silva. He's got defending to do now as Matata picks the ball up left-hand side, tries to produce a cross into the box, headed away by Thiago Silva, drops on the edge of the area for Munoz, who sets it up towards França, whose right-footed shot is blocked by Malo Gusto. Wharton tries to slide it down the side of the penalty area, but it's picked off by Gallagher, and now he motors forward. He looks up, and he saw a run of Jackson, but he couldn't squeeze the ball to him.
He should have tried
quick enough.
He should have tried on his weaker four. Outside it was right. The ball was on down the line for a race with Anderson for Jackson. Take the risk.
Ends up losing out. The ball gets smuggled out on this near touchline. Ball thrown down the right by Munoz. Mateta holds it up and takes it into the right wing position. He then tries to bounce the ball off the shins of the captain Ben Chilwell, and the ball goes out of play and away for a Crystal Palace throw. It's Talk Sport live at Selhurst Park on a lively night in South London, and those red and blue half jerseys enjoyed that first 45, but they haven't seen much of the ball in the second 45. And we are only a couple of minutes into it, so we'll see what happens as Ayew slips under pressure. Wharton plays a good ball forward to Hughes. Hughes drags it, then turns it into the centre towards the penalty box. It almost squeezed through to França, but Gusto was there to nick it away for Chelsea and take it to the halfway line. Lovely little flick by Jackson this time. He goes in behind. He's into the box. He tries to get the better of Mitchell. He's held up, tries to play it back to the edge of the area where Palmer was waiting. And it was a poor ball by him. It's a poor clearance by Lerma. And they come again, Chelsea, down the right side. It's picked up by Cole Palmer in the right wing position. He slaloms his way to the edge of the box, gives it to Fernandez. He nudges it forward. Here comes to Jackson on the turn. It's blocked by the defender, Richards. It goes out for a corner over on the far side, is it? I think it's an offside.
Yeah. Gusto again. I'm feeling for Mitchell, but he's got to have the maturity to start telling his mate in front of him to help him out.
I think we're going to see another change down on the touchline. And looking at the fourth official, just having a word with Roy Hodgson and Paddy McCarthy, who's come out to the edge of the technical area to rearrange that Palace midfield. Pochettino is moving in the pieces of his jigsaw puzzle as well, as he looks to try and get in front here. França finding Ayew, cut out by Chilwell. The ball's in the air and Mateta is going to try and bring it down. It's a lovely touch out of the air by Mateta. He then tries to centre the ball to the back post. Munoz heads it down. Ayew gets there first, tries to shoot. It goes into the air. There's a push by Gallagher, on Gallagher by Munoz. It's a free kick. Pressure off Chelsea.
What a bizarre, ridiculous, amateurish, schoolboy error.
Are we doing that game where we try and find as many
I just
adjectives
cannot
for different
believe
things?
an experienced player has just done that. The ball's in the air, it might get a corner. If not, he's going to head it to your team on the edge of the box, and he runs behind Gallagher, Munoz, and pushes him. What is he thinking?
Well, he's not, is he?
But that's not...
Palmer trying to slide the ball in behind for Jackson to chase, but it's cut out well by Anderson. And Palace have it on halfway. Wharton strides over halfway, brushes aside one challenge.
Been good.
And then tries to take on another. Listen, he was very good at Blackburn Rovers, Alan Wharton. You know, he was brilliant at playing through balls. He racked up the second most assists for Blackburn this season. He is more than just a destroyer that he's deployed in front of the back four. He made his debut off the bench recently, but this is his first start. He was actually linked with Chelsea. Who isn't?
I like him. Comfortable, confident, disciplined, like him. Got a bit about him.
He's had a good 58 minutes so far. He's still only 20 years of age. His brother's also in the Blackburn team. His older brother's in the Blackburn team.
There we go.
Enzo Fernandez switching it out towards the right with a first-time volleyed pass. Gusto into the box. It's on to Nkunku. Helps it into the air. Away by Mitchell, who scoops it from the left side of the area as Palace look at it and puts it straight out of play. Palmer tries to keep it moving from the throw-in. Into Caicedo it goes. Back infield it's with Enzo Fernandez, then Cole Palmer once more. Up to Jackson trying to turn. Caicedo. And then on to Enzo Fernandez. First time ball by Chilwell into the box. Hit the arm. Not even an appeal from Chilwell, which is a surprise because, well, you never know. Not nowadays.
Well played again.
And it's well intervened by Wharton, and now they spring the counter-attack. And it's played out wide to França, who gallops upfield. Into Mateta. He's isolated Thiago Silva, who's gone to ground and blocked the effort. It goes out of play, and it's out for a corner over on the far side.
All started from Wharton. Great little interception, read the ball lovely on the edge of his own box, good pass forward. And when França gets on the inside left and he waits for the pass, good run from Mateta and Thiago Silva gets the block. See, the problem Roy's got, and I feel for him, he'll know that there's a problem over there with Gusto running in behind and running off França the whole time. But he knows that França's a threat going forward and got a bit about him. And if he brings him off, the fans are going to go mad. Because he hasn't got that much on the bench. A couple of young players, of course. Edouard's on there, but yeah, he could bring Edouard on the left-hand side.
He's got Jeff Sloop, who's played on the left-hand side for the last couple of games.
That would be classed as a defensive move by the Palace fans, I think.
Edouard, as you say, is on the bench. We've got treatment here for Thiago Silva. Levi Colwell is getting stripped and ready for action. You're listening to Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 1 on TalkSport with Now. And don't forget that with Now, you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Crystal Palace versus Chelsea live right now. Contract free with a Now membership. Search Now Sports. And Ben Chilwell is desperately trying to get this substitution made. Thiago Silva immediately signalled to be replaced. I mean, stretched something when diving in, I think. But it is out for a corner. It's the first corner of the game for Crystal Palace, and they are the most unproductive side from corners in the league. They've taken 108 corners before tonight, and they haven't scored from one of them. And they've tended to aim towards the middle of the 6-yard box, and that's exactly where it's gone again. Lerma's had it well wide of goal, at least 9-10 yards wide of goal.
Yeah, get the first contact's important, but couldn't direct it, could he?
It's been a bit of a problem for them, because you'd expect a Crystal Palace side managed by Roy Hodgson to have good set-piece record.
Yeah.
And to go now...
We were good on set plays.
Were you? Fulham.
Yeah, but it wasn't so much Roy. I mean, we did a lot of it ourselves. I mean, coaches do get involved. Now we have, you know, this the whole set piece discussions with coaches coming in and specifically having that as their job. But the players have to feel comfortable with it as well. The players are the ones who have to act it out and have to feel comfortable with whatever it is that you centre halves or your best headers of the ball. They might prefer in-swingers to out-swingers, and then you've got a set piece coach telling you to do the opposite. Why would you do that?
I'm not here to defend the set-piece coach fraternity. Well, I'm sure they do quite a lot of study.
Yeah, we did studies back then on numbers. We used to get given the numbers, but there's always been set-piece coaches. I've got no problem with it.
They just had other duties.
Yeah.
But the game's awash with money now, so they just, you know, make that person even better at the set pieces. They get to focus on them all day, every day. What did you do today? I watched 25,000 set pieces. There you go. It's good. You learn a lot from that.
But they can't take one or put one in the top corner.
Maybe you should go into it. You were pretty good at them. Here is Chilwell into the centre, playing it to Caicedo. Caicedo clips it out towards the wide right, collected by Palmer. 1-1 the score on TalkSport. Palace took the lead, an exquisite goal from Jefferson Lerma, and then a good instinctive volley from Conor Gallagher levelled things up after a right wing cross from...
It was a brilliant finish from Conor Gallagher. Brilliant finish.
That was a really good finish, wasn't it? That's almost given away by Matthias França. Back to Mitchell, gives it to his goalkeeper. He hoists it to halfway. Lerma bundled into Caicedo, then went to ground. Gusto's got it again far side, the right for Chelsea. It's about 12-13 yards inside opposition territory. Fernandes back to halfway. Moises Caicedo back to Disasi, and then into Fernandes. Mauricio Pochettino suggested in his press conference yesterday that Chelsea hadn't got the age balance right in the squad. Silva 39, Sterling 29, Bettinelli 31, Chilwell 27, Sanchez 26, and Nkunku 26 are the only players in the entire squad that are over the age of 25. And let's be clear about it, Bettinelli and Sanchez are goalkeepers.
Can't win nothing with kids.
Colwell.
Although, to be fair, that United side had a lot more than kids in it, didn't it? Let's be honest.
Yes. Had some good other influences, didn't they? But they were pretty good kids as well.
Amazing. Here we go.
Lerma picks it up. That's a poor ball out towards this near side. But Ayew won't give up the chase. He'll still scurry out into the right wing position, try and turn past Chilwell. He's got help as well from Munoz, who's trying to keep it in. And he almost did. Steered it back into the 6-yard box, and it was gloved by Petrovic.
Great play from Ayew, wasn't it? Munoz made the overlap, did well making the run, to be fair, but just running out of legs when he got there, wasn't he? Got it to keep right to the keeper's hands. Better from Palace.
Well, Crystal Palace have definitely put up a fight tonight against Chelsea, which will just take the pressure off, I think, especially if it stays like this. Here is Palmer, though, coming down the right side, trying to feed Nicholas Jackson, who steps across, but Chris Richards does well just to shepherd the ball behind, and in the inside right channel just nudges it out for a corner. Over on the far side, it's 1-1.
I think he's got to think about making a sub. The more I think about it, the more chances, the more regularity. We see the attacks for Chelsea down the right-hand side, those 2v1s, Palmer running inside, Mitchell having to go a little bit with him, Gusto getting plenty of the ball, one decent cross and they'll be done.
Here's the corner for Chelsea. They've flooded the 6-yard box here, Chelsea, and Nkunku is waiting for the pieces that come from the knockdown. It's in towards the near post, headed away by Ayew. It drops on the edge of the box, and France's got a chance to escape, but he runs straight into Gusto, who turns it over, gets into the box, produces a cross in towards the near post, headed away by Richards, who goes out for another corner. Got in front of Colwell really well there, just edged in front of the big, strong centre half.
He has had God knows how many crosses, Gusto, tonight. Does well winning it back.
It's a short one this time, and it's given straight to Nkunku. Then back into the edge of the penalty area it goes. It's half cleared, and now a chance for France to escape once again. Again, his ball wasn't perfect, but Wharton has managed to just field it out towards the far side. Munoz and Enzo Fernandez are fighting for it. It's put out of play by Munoz, and it's away for a Chelsea throw.
Nearly.
They just switched off from the corner, though, there.
Yeah. It was a near. You mean Palace or Chelsea?
Palace switched off from the corner.
But they recovered, and the breakaway was quite good. Another good ball from Wharton. And Munoz found himself on the left wing trying to outpace Fernandez. You're right.
Just did a bit of a mic
drop, yeah. Your last line wasn't that good.
Well, we didn't hear it, so dropped me mic. Ball given back to Chelsea. It's 1-1 on TalkSport. 67 on the clock. Jackson turning, looking up, sees Cole Palmer make a run down the right side. Mitchell went with him, and he's going to go on the outside now, Cole Palmer. Doubling up was França, joining is Gusto. Right angle of the penalty area, Chelsea on the attack. In that Eton blue, which is a light jade green with black stripe down either side. And once again, Cole Palmer weaves infield, nudges it to Caicedo. It's back centrally with Enzo Fernandez, and then back tight to the touchline over on the far side, the right for Chelsea. Caicedo has been played down the touchline. He's now coming up against Tyreek Mitchell, pushes the ball beyond him and sends the ball into the box. It's headed away by the defender, comes back to Chilwell, who cracks it down the middle of the goal, and it's narrowly over the top. It was a brilliant ball in by Caicedo, who just pushed the ball beyond Tyreek Mitchell and said, I'm going to beat you. He did. Lovely cross into the box, which went right the 18-yard area. It was steered away into the path of Chilwell.
Brilliant ball, brilliant header as well. Back post from Munoz.
And the strike wasn't that bad, it was just a yard over the top.
Tyreek Mitchell must be exhausted. He must feel like he's defending on his own at times over there.
Good chance for Ben Chilwell, who's yet to score this season. Last goal was in March last year. Ben Chilwell. Colwell, who's back from injury himself, and Chelsea fans will be pleased to see him. I think he'll be pleased to be playing in the centre of defence.
Yeah.
Chelsea already had problems with Benoit Badiashile picking up a groin injury in the Wednesday night victory over Aston Villa, and now Thiago Silva has picked one up as well. Wonder what Mrs. Silva is tweeting tonight. Colwell down the left-hand side, fielding the ball into the path of Colwell. It's picked up by Enzo Fernandez. Colwell's got it back again. Nkunku just dropped slightly to pick the ball up, play a 1-2 with Enzo Fernandez, then move up to the edge of the area, gives it to Gallagher. Gallagher tries to shrug off Jefferson Lerma. Caicedo has it now. Gallagher wants it back again, gets it back. Fends it out to the far side where it's collected by Gusto. Little give and go. Gusto's got it back again. He's travelling infield from the right touchline. And then they go wide again. And then Gallagher with a cross in towards Jackson with a flicked header, which narrowly avoids the post.
Well, I'd like to know how many crosses they've got from the right-hand side because of how comfortable it is for them to get over there and make numbers. But it's going to kill Palace if they'll keep letting it. I'm amazed that Roy's letting it happen. How Roy and Ray can't see what's going on down there. It's so easy to deliver crosses in from there, unless they think they can cope with them centrally. But that's a high-risk game.
Well, there's not much in terms of aerial prowess in the Chelsea team.
True.
In the forward areas, is there? I mean, yes, actually, he scored a header in midweek, Jackson, but
maybe
that's
it's
not his forte.
Maybe it's the lesser of two evils. Maybe they think, well, if the ball comes in, we'll deal with it, rather than put extra men out there to stop the crosses and get played through. Maybe it's a good point.
Tackle on Gallagher is punished by Michael Oliver, and Jefferson Lerma gets his customary yellow card. All cleared away by Mitchell out towards the near side. França picks it up. On to Lerma once again. We're in the 70th minute of the game. It's 1-1 on TalkSport. Are we going to get a winner in the final 20 minutes? Oh, Matthias França. He was well offside.
I'm not sure he was. Doesn't matter now.
Chelsea have played on, and now Nkunku's got it on this near touchline. Cole Palmer joining from the right-hand side. Nkunku moves towards the middle of the Palace half, gives it to Fernandes, gets it back again, back into Nkunku, and then Palmer. Out wide it goes to Caicedo. Better football this by Chelsea. They've looked much better and more balanced in the second half, and a crisper touch, a better feel about them when they got the ball at their feet. They were loose sometimes in that latter part of the first 45 after a bright first few minutes.
Well, it's no coincidence Palmer's had, 2, 3, 4 times as many touches in the second half as he did the first, and he's influencing the game from that right-hand side. He drifts into the pocket from the right. He's giving more reliability when the ball goes down there, more problems for Mitchell.
Disasi out to Gusto, on to Cole Palmer, right side for Chelsea. Now trying to turn the ball back to Malo Gusto, who takes it down towards the corner flag and looks to try and wriggle free of Mitchell's grasp. It goes out for a throw-in. And Palmer wanted to start things quickly and get things moving, but there wasn't too many options in front of him. So Malo Gusto has to take over throwing duties, gives it to Cole Palmer. Palmer gets it back to Gusto again. They're midway between the edge of the penalty area and the byline. They've surrendered possession, but it's ricocheted nicely, and Gallagher's got it on the edge of the box, and he's teed it up for Enzo Fernandez, who's cracked it into the defender. Gusto sent it another cross into the box. Anderson is all over Nkunku. The ball's gone to Jackson. It's gone wide to Chilwell. His cross into the near post, takes a deflection, goes behind and away for a corner. Well, Gallagher is complaining and saying that Nkunku was fouled inside the box by Anderson, who seemed to get up above him, push him down and land on top of him.
I think he jumps early. If Nkunku doesn't jump, he's not going to get that.
Well, I think the VAR had a very brief look at it and decided not to get involved, which I think was probably the wise choice, because the referee was on the spot, saw... Jackson, it's half clear, but Nkunku is wrestling with França, and França's got the better of him, and he's charged over halfway. Nkunku's got back and managed to flick it away to safety momentarily, and that allows Chelsea to retreat into Palace come forward with França into the area. He tries to send a cross in. It was a weak effort, and it was cleared by Fernandes, and Chelsea bring it upfield again with Caicedo.
Did really well there, França. It's just that final bit for him, isn't it? That little final bit of quality.
Gallagher on to Chilwell onto this near side. Chelsea looking to try and fashion a winner in this game. Palace desperate to hold on.
Williams looks like he's struggling. Looks like he's struggling. Getting about.
In terms of his physicality, he's just sort of
I think he's hurt
himself into the ground.
Well, he's worked his proverbials off, but he's looking like he's limping to me. And he just went down hands on knees there, and he's not that tight. So I think he might be, I don't know, maybe he'll run it off.
Chelsea about to go 10th at this moment in time with a 1-1 draw. Let's see what happens in the final few minutes of this game. Crystal Palace will stay in 15th, but their distance to the relegation zone will increase. They'll be 6 points above Everton, having played the same number of games. They are going to make a change or two here, though, the home team, for the final 15 minutes to see if they can win it. I could see Hudson-Edouard wearing just his kit with a bib over the top at the moment, so that would suggest that they're thinking about bringing him on at least, or he's showing interest. It's Chelsea on the ball as they come forward at 1-1 on TalkSport. It's not a great ball infield by Chilwell. Hughes tidies it up. It's collected by Wharton in midfield, and
Well
he
played.
pokes it forward brilliantly into Matthias Franco, who's got space. He's going to shoot here from distance. It's saved down low by Petrovic, and it comes back out to Mateta. Good chance for Crystal Palace to take the lead again.
He's good, Wharton, you know. That started from him again.
Ayew into the box looking for Mateta. It's away by Disasi.
Offside.
Offside flag is up. Well, it was a good chance, and as you say, Adam Wharton very quickly distributed the ball into the area where he knew they could hurt and cause problems for Chelsea.
França does well. He takes his time. He strikes it well. He keeps it on target. It's a decent save from the keeper. He's done all right, a young man, França.
14 to go.
It's just his defensive work hasn't been great, but maybe you can't have both.
Can't have everything, Danny. You know, we'd all love to have all the facets required, but he's only 19, the Brazilian. I'm sure he'll get better in that regard as he goes along. Gusto coming forward. Raheem Sterling about to come on for Chelsea. And he has struggled for goals recently. Raheem Sterling, he's struggled to make an impact recently. Been left on the bench for the last 2 games by the manager Mauricio Pochettino. He's a little bit short on the far side, and as a result, the ball has been given away. But Chelsea try to move it through the middle of the pitch, where that is so difficult to do because there's so many people in the middle of the park clogging up that area. I got a bit clogged up there.
You did a little bit, yeah.
Here is Disasi down the right side of the centre circle. Chelsea coming forward. And that's another poor pass in from Gusto on the right-hand side. França with a little trick to take it away from Disasi. And then finds Jefferson Lerma, far side. Tackled by Caicedo, wins it back, and now Cole Palmer's got space to run into, and Mitchell's nowhere to be seen. And Palmer's in the area, a left-footed shot. Oh, it's too easy. He didn't catch it with the requisite venom. Raced away into open space, but couldn't find the power to take it beyond Dean Henderson. Chelsea and Palace about to make changes. Sterling and Hamada about to come on for Crystal Palace. Hit the shoulder of Colwell as the goal kick went up over the halfway line. Ball was lost by Ayew, and now we're going to have those changes. Sterling is going to come on, and he is going to replace. Oh, we can't see that's behind the ball. So Hamada is coming on for Will Hughes, I can tell you that much. And the other change is going to be Raheem Sterling for Nicholas Jackson. Mean that there's a bit more width about Chelsea with Sterling going on the left-hand side, Palmer on the right now, and Gallagher behind Nkunku, who will go as the main thrust of the Chelsea attack. He has scored just 2 goals, Christopher Nkunku, and one of those against Crystal Palace. Here is Malagusto back to Disasi. Chelsea in control of the ball. Chilwell hugging the touch on the near side. Motors up towards the left edge of the area. Tries to go past Munoz. Munoz was so demonstrative in pushing Chilwell to the ground. He had absolutely no chance of getting away with a free kick, and he gets a yellow card as well. And it's Chelsea set piece on the edge of the box.
A little bit obvious, wasn't it? I think it's because do you know why? It was because his arm was high, caught him nearly in the face, didn't it? That's why he's got the yellow.
And it was outstretched. It was so he was at a distance where you could visibly see it happening. If he's close, leeway with the referee, and it's a free kick as a result of that for Chelsea, who need a decent delivery here because time is ticking away for Mauricio Pochettino. I think, you know, when you look at Crystal Palace, they haven't got Elise and Eze in it, no Doucouré in it either, and they've been on a bad run, and Chelsea have just come off a really good away performance. Even though their away form has been shocking over the course of the season, they would expect to get all 3 points here. Gallagher and Chilwell stand over the ball. And it's going to be Chilwell who delivers in towards the penalty area. Comes back out to Cole Palmer, who cracks it, blocked by Anderson brilliantly on the edge of the 6-yard box.
Really good from Anderson, wasn't it? Patient, got himself between the ball and the goal, knows his angles, really good at that. Big 10 minutes.
The box, I thought. Sorry, the initial delivery into the box was a good one.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, big 10 minutes for both these two teams. And Crystal Palace trying to cheer their team on. And Chelsea trying to stick to their guns. Crystal Palace have the ball though with Munoz down the right as they look at it. It's a poor ball forward by the former Genk right fullback, and it goes out of play, and it's a way for a Chelsea throw. The good news is that Chelsea concede the third most late goals, so there could well be a late twist in the drama. And the even better news is that Crystal Palace concede the second most late goals, so we could have all sorts of things that happen in the last 10 minutes, Danny.
I think it would be harsh at the moment on Palace with what they've put into this game to lose it. Although Chelsea are starting to dominate a little bit more now, which is concerning for the Palace boys.
And they've had a lot of the ball, Chelsea, but haven't had enough in terms of creativity. Nowhere near at the sort of level of penetration you would expect from a team that have 80% of the ball. Here's Caicedo, Cole Palmer trying to get it down the right side. Oh, he just missed, fired there and gave the ball away. And Chelsea win it back from Mateta, just doing well.
Got to do a bit better there, Mateta. When you're tired, your touch has to be better, more reliable. Last 10 minutes, take care.
1-1, 8 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. Sterling trying to wriggle away from Ayew. Free kick wasn't forthcoming from Michael Oliver. It's forward by Lerma towards the right side, and Ayew's not going to get there ahead of Colwell, who gets it all the way back to his goalkeeper. And Chelsea have it again. Are we going to get a winner on Talk Sport? Chelsea have got a very tough couple of weeks to come as Alfie Gilchrist prepares to come up. Manchester City away this weekend. Liverpool in the Carabao Cup final the weekend after. Brentford away, Newcastle at home, and Arsenal away. It's a testing month or so for Maurizio Pochettino. Everton next up for Crystal Palace is a key fixture as they look to try and ensure a bit of distance between them and the relegation zone. Here's Sterling into Nkunku, who's the wrong side of the defender. It comes through the box fortuitously to Palmer, sends it back to Sterling. Sterling cuts in right-footed. It's blocked by the defender and half cleared. And no one wanted to take responsibility and pull the trigger for Chelsea. Too many touches.
It was, but they worked it nicely. He found the opening. I think he went on the wrong foot personally, but Palmer played that nice ball across the box to Sterling, and he wanted to cut inside on his right instead of taking a touch on it. Yeah, hit it.
Well, you're not going to score goals unless you hit it early every now and again, and he's got 1 goal in 23 appearances, Raheem Sterling. Off comes Malagusto over on the far side. On comes Alfie Gilchrist. It's currently Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 1. The latest odds are available at Ladbrokes. We're right now Crystal Palace 13-2, Chelsea 12-5. The draw 8-15. It's all thanks to Ladbrokes. 18+. BeGambleAware.org. Here is Alfie Gilchrist.
He's done all right, Gusto.
And França is off to a standing ovation from the Crystal Palace supporters, and Edouard is on.
Isn't it amazing? I mean, he's done really well and he's worked and he's showed some classy bits and he's shown his potential, but he's actually got away with a lot of bad defending and gets a standing ovation. I get why, I understand it.
Well, it's exciting going forward, and there is a good narrative about it. There's a lot of buzz around him on social media for whatever reason.
No, I like him, but when it's funny how narrative is followed, because he's got the skill and the nice bits that people want to see, they forgive the other bits, don't they? And poor old Mitchell has been working his bum off.
Yeah. Well, that's what you're here to do, to point out everybody's failings.
That's not true. I like França. I think he's done so much good. I'm really pleased for him because there's a lot of expectancy on him. Go on, son.
Hamada moves forward for Crystal Palace.
Stiamo cercando delle comparse per una scena di massa. Anzi, a suo dire devi provare.
Dal regista dell'Amica Geniale.
Io non posso rischiare.
And the Mateta. It certainly will be looked at by the video assistant referee. It started on the right-hand side. The Chelsea player, Gilchrist, missed the tackle. It came forward to Mateta, and then it was 5 yards outside the box when Colwell went down. Under pressure, it looked to have been some sort of, I think, his back foot sort of crumpled and he kicked to the back of his heel.
Colwell's pulled his right foot back to try and clear it, and then it's come down and caught Mateta. I don't think, I mean, it's a coming together. I don't think there's anything cynical in that at all.
It wasn't a penalty, that's for sure, and it certainly probably wasn't a free kick to Chelsea either. Play on might have been the best call.
He did well there.
Mohamed picked it up initially, and then Edouard played the ball forward towards Mateta. Chilwell down the left. We're in minute 86, and it's 1-1 between Chelsea and Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. And we're off and underway after a mistake by Sterling. And Odsonne Edouard is skating towards the edge of the box. He needs some options, but he's run a long way with the ball. He's trying to turn it back across the face of goal. It's given back to him by Gilchrist inside the box. Bad defending by Chelsea. Mohamed has got it once more. Right-footed effort blocked by Gilchrist. Into the air it goes, and Petrovic will come and collate. Danny Murphy's going ballistic, jumping up and down.
I was frustrated for him because he got himself in such a great position, Edouard. He beat one, beat two, and you think, hit it, and he kept going.
He picked it up on the right side of the box and ran basically to the left side of the box.
Yeah, well, to be fair, he does try and hit it in the end, and it gets blocked from Chilwell, I think it is.
This is an old stand, Danny. There's not many grounds there over the last 75 years. Not much has been done to the two sides of a stadium, but this is certainly one of those grounds. But you can do a bit of damage here if you start jumping up and down like that. Easy to...
I'll stop.
Easy to disrupt things in this old rickety joint. Here comes Chelsea. Maybe one of the last few attacks that they could fashion with 3 minutes to go. It's helped out towards the right. Palace have had their skirmishes, they've had their chances. 11 goal attempts, 4 on target. Chelsea have only had 10 and 2, despite the fact they've had 78% of the ball in the game. Away by Lerma, takes a deflection, goes out, and it's away for a throw-in. Palmer not happy about being told that he's got to take the throw-in from further back. It's launched into the box. Gallagher on the charge, gets there ahead of Richards, bounces into the left full-back area where it's hooked away by an under-pressure Mitchell. His clearance is poor, Watkins is better, goes into Mateta who tries to hold it up. There was a foul there by Disasi. The free kick goes Crystal Palace's way. Well, this will be the first draw between these two in nearly 30 years if it was to stay like this. How will Mauricio Pochettino be feeling after watching his team, witnessing a team go to Aston Villa, play sharp, crisp passes, come up with deadly finishes, and really barely troubled Dean Henderson in the match here tonight?
I think he'd be really disappointed with the first half performance, and it was to do with the tempo and the sloppiness and the carelessness. I think that's what he'd be most disappointed with. The second half they've reacted and they played a bit better tempo and got themselves in better positions, but why are they not starting games properly?
Would you subscribe to the view that he has given, that the inconsistency comes from the youthfulness and naivety in the group?
I think that's part of it, but not the only reason. I mean, that for me is not taking enough responsibility. He should take some as well, because you're in charge of the group. You can influence that, the consistency. You can influence the tempo and the energy.
Ball tossed in from the right side. Chelsea looking for a late winner, but they've given the ball away. It's not going to run through to Mateta because the referee has decided that there was a free kick against Jordan Ayew, which deserved to be punished, and it's a Chelsea set piece. There's going to be 4 minutes of added time at the end of the 90. That a free kick?
Yeah, he came in fast. To be fair to Poch, although he wasn't remonstrating and up and down like a jack in the box first half, he did make a really strong decision at half time and go, you're off, not good enough.
Yeah,
and that's a message in itself, by the way.
Ball into the box, goes right through the 6-yard area, runs out the other side. Sterling keeps it alive for Chelsea. They come on the attack, Sterling dribbling towards the edge of the box at pace, and then right-footed with a cross in towards Disasi, who plants it into the hands of Dean Henderson. And Chelsea get only their 3rd shot on target in the game. in the last minute of the match from a Sterling left wing cross and a Disasi header.
It's one of the first times they got the first contact from a cross, isn't it?
Of all the balls that they've had into the penalty area, they have made very little of them during the course of the night. Chilwell, the terrible attempt at the clearance. The ball's run for Mateta. Fernandez trying to help it clear, gets a little bit lucky, and then it's picked up by Caicedo, helps it on to Sterling, who does brilliantly to feed Palmer down the right-hand side, and they're racing in towards the box now, and Palmer cuts in on his left foot, feeds the ball to Gallagher! Who wins it for Chelsea at Selhurst Park? Conor Gallagher puts Chelsea into the lead on the stroke of full time, and the man who was the player of the year for a season on loan here in South London has punished them ruthlessly right at the end of a game that they've been in from the start. Chelsea showing signs of revival and commitment at the Palace, and maybe Roy Hodgson will be gutted and punished once again. His team in the match for 90 plus minutes, but Chelsea have stolen it in stoppage time.
Well, it's a brilliant finish, and it's set up by that man Cole Palmer. Should have brought Sterling down there. I mean, talk about being professional. They had opportunities to make the foul. It gets to Cole Palmer. He waits his turn. I think it's Lerma who's got to do better on the edge of the box. Cole Palmer gets in on the right-hand side. You know he's going to come. Makes him go back. Lerma's got to do better as it goes to the edge of the box. A great finish from Gallagher, by the way, but Lerma's got to get there. Palace players will be sick. Absolutely devastating.
It's a great finish by Conor Gallagher. It's a super goal for Chelsea, but Crystal Palace will be crushed by the late drama. We told you that Crystal Palace concede the second most goals in the last 15 minutes of games, and Conor Gallagher has come back to haunt them. He basically learnt his trade here. He was announced onto the Premier League stage in the red and blue of Crystal Palace, but after going through a mammoth goal drought, he's got 3 goals in 2 games, and it's Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 2 on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever the mission, home or away, Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day. Well, the boys on the sports bar will certainly have a lot to say about this. 03717223344. Cole and Adam Catterall taking your calls in just a few moments. We'll have reaction from the 2 sets of managers and officials as well.
Well, in isolation, Sam, I think Palace can be reasonably pleased with how they've performed today. They've got a lot of players missing. Chelsea's quality has shone through near the end, and it might do here, but they're
on the break again, and they're careering over halfway, and it's 3-on-2, and Palmer has fed Enzo Fernandez, who cuts back in on his right foot, picks his spot, slams it in. Chelsea win 3-1. Another breakaway goal, another Enzo Fernandez goal. The Chelsea substitutes run onto the pitch to celebrate, because they are going to steal all 3 points at Selhurst Park. A second half comeback, and Palace once again have been beaten late on, and once again Selhurst Park is silenced as Roy Hodgson's team capitulate towards the end. Enzo Fernandez finishing off yet another smart run from Cole Palmer, who picked the ball up in his own half. He slalom forward, drove into the box and fed Enzo Fernandez, who took 1 touch to come inside. He waited, and then dispatched the ball high into the roof of the net after watching Munoz slide past him. And it's Palace 1, Chelsea 3.
Great finish. Cole Palmer again in it with the assist. His calmness, making the right decisions, being on the right-hand side of the pitch where he's had more time, more influence, more impact. 2 wonderful assists, really.
Well, he's contributions were delayed until the second half of the game. He was out of it in the false nine position, but he is a proper player. There's no doubt about it. He has come up with assist after assist this season for Chelsea, who have been ailing at times over the course of the campaign. But it's another away victory for Maurizio Pochettino, a away victory that never looked likely, even going into the final minute of the game, Danny. But they've kept going, they've kept waiting for those opportunities, they've looked bright and they've looked breezy, and in the end, as the song goes, don't worry about a thing, because every little thing's going to be all right if you've got Cole Palmer in your team.
Well, top players make the right decisions in the right moments, in pivotal moments. The Palace had some moments in the second half. They just didn't quite have that bit of quality to unlock the door. Their performance has been much better than recent weeks. I think the fans can be proud of the effort and commitment. Wharton's been terrific. Francis did okay. But Chelsea's bit of quality in the final third when there's tired legs. Palmer, wait, right choice, right pass. Great finish from Gallagher again. Fernandes calm, took his time, killed the game, done.
Nkunku inside the area trying to turn and play it towards the near post, takes a deflection, goes out for a corner. Nicholas Jackson was booked after steaming onto the pitch to celebrate the goal that has clinched all 3 points for Chelsea. He was on the bench, but he was booked by the referee after running onto the playing surface. 3-1 to Chelsea in the 96th minute of the game. We only had 4 minutes added on.
Doesn't tell the story, does it?
It doesn't really tell anything of the narrative of this game. Yeah, Chelsea had loads of the ball. They dominated it. They've had 80. Their 13 goal attempts, 5 of them on target. All have come in the second half of the game. Chelsea barely laid a glove on Crystal Palace in an attacking sense in that first 45 minutes. They came out, scored within 2 minutes of the restart.
Do you know what, though, when you watch that second goal back, the decisive one to make it 2-1 from Gallagher, when Sterling's going through, 2 or 3 players had the chance to bring him down. That's just knowing what you got to do. How can you let him go? Just trip him up. There's no blue cards. Not yet.
Chelsea about to equal the Premier League record of successive wins for one team against another. Currently 13 for Manchester United against Wigan, Manchester City, West Brom, and Manchester City's current run against Bournemouth. There's a few boos at the end, and you do wonder how long this can keep going on for Crystal Palace. Another late show from Chelsea. Is anyone going to come to Roy's rescue? Hodgson Joyce has upset the locals before, but tonight he went with a more attacking. Given his head, his first start. Adam Wharton came into the team for the first time, and those 2 players did well for the large part. But Chelsea kept pushing and probing, keep pushing to try and get back on the score sheet. Their second half performance and their late performance right at the end of the game, their quality on the edge of the box from Palmer and Gallagher has certainly earned them all 3 points. No one will get carried away because they always win here, and they made hard work of it at time. The good news for Pochettino is that they've actually now won 9 of their last 13, and things might just be looking up a little bit at Stamford Bridge. At the Palace, well, there's still a hell of a lot of work to do to raise the mood, because even when they've been playing well, they haven't been getting points. Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 3.
Well, boy, did those Chelsea fans over on the far side enjoy those late goals. One from Conor Gallagher to put them in front, another from Enzo Fernandez to win it and seal it and make sure that the away points were earned. Maurizio Pochettino still out there shaking hands and enjoying the moment. The Chelsea players going over to their fans who are celebrating wildly. I've got to say the Chelsea fans were singing Is There a Fire Drill, and the home seats emptied really quickly once that third goal went in. You're going to get reaction live from Selhurst Park from both Roy Hodgson and Maurizio Pochettino during the sports bar here on talkSPORT. That show follows us, Adam Catterall and Carlton Cole in charge tonight. 03717 22 33 44. A little bit late because of the delay to the start of the second half when the referee's technical equipment wasn't working, and we had to wait a long time, 8 minutes, for him to be able to officiate. We got underway. Chelsea scored early on. Conor Gallagher with 2 tonight. Enzo Fernandez trying to give his shirt to a youngster in the crowds. The stewards won't let him. Finally, he's giving it to somebody. I think it's a grown, an adult he's giving it to. looked like the adult was nicking it. He was meant to give it to the kid. Can you believe that? How about you're on telly, mate? Come on. Chelsea get the win, Danny Murphy. Listen, from a Palace point of view, first of all, they played their part, they led at half-time, they gave it a go, there was some positives from them, and some of the Palace fans are applauding their players as they go down the tunnel. Adam Wharton just going down the tunnel, what a debut from him. I thought he was terrific second half.
He was absolutely superb, really showed all attributes of a good midfielder. Thought there was promising signs from a creative point of view from França as well. He's got a little bit of work to do on his defensive duties, of course. We talked about that during the comms. I think considering the four players, the Guéhi, the Corey, Eza and Elise they've got missing, I thought it was a really game performance, brave. They had a good go, they took some risks, they caused Chelsea a few problems. Yes, there's a lack of quality in the final third, you can see it, but they got there often enough to try and cause Chelsea a few issues. I didn't see that coming at the end. It looked like it was fizzling into a 1-1 draw. Both teams had a go. But that bit of quality that Cole Palmer has to pick the right pass at the right time. It's all end product, two words that get thrown around in football a lot by us pundits. But it's so key for the top players, end product. All of them have got it. And that's why I wouldn't hesitate with Cole Palmer, putting him in an England shirt, starting off the bench, whatever you want, because he doesn't panic. He's got that wonderful attribute of picking the right thing, making the right decision at the right time.
Did you see enough from Chelsea to suggest that the bad times are over for the rest of the season?
No.
Really?
No. Wide open at times on the breaks. You know, they're both full-backs deciding to fly forward as and when they want. Maybe that's because they're playing Palace, maybe, so give them benefit of the doubt. But not solid, not defensively sound. Got caught in possession 3 or 4 times in their own half, first half. Would have been punished by a better team. And even second half, I thought Palace got themselves in some really good positions. No, I think they've got a lot of work to do.
They have got the win though. Time now for us to pick our man of the match with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Man of the match on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever the mission, home or away, Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day.
Danny Murphy, you just mentioned Cole Palmer. Does he get your vote?
I think he's got to, because of sometimes he moved position second half, and that impact he had on the game was so huge. It got Chelsea to 3 points. I was tempted to give it to Wharton. I thought he was terrific. To make your first Premier League game against that Chelsea midfield and have as good a second half, especially like you said, his passing really productive, good athleticism, defensively, spotting danger, putting out fires, looks a real good signing. But I think for the 2 assists and the impact he had on the game, Cole Palmer in the second half, to give Chelsea the impetus to dictate more, I think I've got to give it him, yeah.
There you go, Cole Palmer, our man of the match from today's game with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Man of the match on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has vans of all shapes and sizes, so if you've got a plan, we've got a van.
Anybody else have a good game?
Do you know what? I'm going to change my mind.
Are you really?
Yeah. I don't know why. I completely forgot about Gallagher's 2 goals.
I steered you into Cole Palmer, didn't it? It's my fault.
Yeah, no, it's my fault. Got my own mind. Gallagher scored the goals. So let's forget the assist for a second. Gallagher coming back to his old hunting ground. We were talking earlier about his lack of end product at times and not scoring many goals. I know he got the one at Wolves.
At Villa.
Villa, sorry, in the week in the Cup. Gallagher was the man of the match.
I thought Gusto was. I thought he would have been in your thinking.
Gusto
as well.
did well.
Yeah, there was some good attacks.
No, Gallagher's got to get. I completely forgot. Sorry, Connor.
It's a good job it's not live, isn't it?
Well, look, we all make mistakes. We're encapsulated by the atmosphere and all the good things. I like watching Cole Palmer. I admire him and his elegance and his intelligence. But Gallagher was terrific. Had a point to prove tonight. 2 great finishes.
Joint men of the match. Why don't we give it to them both? Hey?
Well, they're not down there getting out for us, are they?
You've got to go down, dressing room, and sort that out. Danny, really enjoyed your company as ever tonight. Thank you very much. We've got more live football tomorrow on TalkSport 2. Swansea take on Leeds. It's a 7:45 kickoff, and on TalkSport 8 o'clock, the round of 16 in the Champions League gets underway. Copenhagen against Manchester City. Live on TalkSport, Stuart Pearce on commentary duty for that, the former City captain and manager. Join me for kick-off live from Bristol City against Southampton in the Championship tomorrow from 7 p.m. on TalkSport. Really looking forward to it. Adam Cattrall and former Chelsea striker Carlton Cole coming up on the Sports Bar. 03717 223344. No Eze, no Elise, but Palace led with a beauty at half-time. Jefferson Lerma couldn't have hit it firmer, but the second half was a different story. Chelsea equalised, then hit 2 goals in 3 late minutes to win it. One of them from a World Cup winner. Chelsea into the top half. 2-goal Gallagher and creative Cole Palmer into the England Euros reckoning for sure. Chelsea fans were singing, don't worry, everything's going to be all right. And with the cup final coming up for them, they might just be thinking, Chelsea are back. You heard it live on TalkSport.
Gallagher is there! And Gallagher makes it 2-on-2. Gallagher! Who wins it for Chelsea at Selhurst Park? Conor Gallagher puts Chelsea into the lead on the stroke of full time. Enzo Fernandez, who cuts back in on his right foot, picks his spot, slams it in. Chelsea win 3-1.
The football season is well and truly underway with Betfair. And if you're looking to get involved in all the action, then look no further. At Betfair, we've made it faster and easier to build your ACCA this football season. Celebrate this weekend with a completely free ACCA or Bet Builder on football. Betfair.
Opt-in and previous deposit required. Max free bet varies from £1 to £10 per customer. Minimum odds of 1.5 on minimum 1 leg. T's apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org. Monday game night on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Don't break your stride shopping around. The Screwfix low price guarantee means we price check so you don't have to. Found something cheaper? No problem. Head into any Screwfix store and we'll refund the difference. Look out for the low price guarantee badge on hundreds of trade essentials. And don't let shopping around slow you down. Screwfix, the choice of champions. Exclusions and restrictions apply. See screwfix.com for full details.
Who are you going for in the racing today?
The favourite.
And tomorrow?
The favourite.
And the next day?
The favourite.
The Sun's horse racing pullout, The Favourite, is now in the paper 7 days a week. Yes, that's right. Every single day. Bringing you even more top tips, more form guides, more race cards, and all the colours and silks. Get your favourite pullout every day in the Sun, the home of racing.
Playing host for the big game? Feed the squad with a meal deal exclusively on Just Eat. Save over 45% on KFC's finger kicking double bucket and 25% or more on matchday meal deals from Burger King, Pizza Hut Delivery, German Doner Kebab, Greg's, and more. It's the easiest win of the season.
Did somebody say Just Eat?
Participating stores in selected locations, subject to availability. Saving compared to individual items. Delivery fees and other charges may apply. End 17th of March. See justeat.co.uk for details.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Sipping a morning coffee out on the terrace. Good morning, Mr. Squirrel.
Morning.
The kids building a treehouse in the garden.
I'm living my perfect childhood.
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of June 2022 and 30th of September 2022 is under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
Chicken selects.
McNuggets.
Chicken selects.
McNuggets.
Chicken selects.
McNuggets.
Chicken selects.
McNuggets.
Chicken select.
Hang on. Whether you're a McNuggets connoisseur or a Chicken Selects mega fan, come together with the McDonald's chicken combo for just $16.99. With 20 chicken McNuggets, 10 for every chicken lover. Available 10th of Jan until 28th of May on delivery options at participating restaurants only. Fees apply from 11 a.m. Price may vary, subject to availability.
Monday game night on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Rent from the best lineup in the UK. Enterprise has 450 branches with all the vehicles your business needs.
On 1089 and 1053 medium wave, on DAB, online and on your smart speaker. The Sports Bar on TalkSport.
All right, fans, here